Vertinen and reached the last 16 of the Barcelona Open. The Spaniard, who must win the tournament to reclaim the World No. 1 spot from Sinner, defeated the Finn 6-4, 6-2 despite receiving a medical timeout for a wrist issue at the end of the first set. He is chasing his third title of the season this week after completing the career Grand Slam at the Australian Open and triumphing at the ATP 500 event in Doha. Finally, to boxing, and Eddie Hearn says he and Anthony Joshua have discussed the contract for a blockbuster battle with Tyson Fury, but says his fighter could take a warm-up bout in July before facing his Brit rival in November. Fury is reportedly already signed for the long-awaited All-British mega fight and issued a fresh challenge to AJ after his points victory over Arslanbek Makhmudov at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Saturday. Joshua did not commit to the Fury fight. There had been speculation he could take a warm-up bout in July, with Deontay Wilder said to be a potential rival. If he comes through that, he could then confirm his intention to fight Fury in November. That's all for now. We'll have more later. These are your latest sports headlines, and I'm Jack Ogleby. We start with football, and Bournemouth boss Andoni Iraola is to lead the club at the end of the season. Iraola is out of contract in 3 months and has turned down numerous offers to extend his stay amid interest from his former side Athletic Club and links to Premier League rivals. It's understood former Salzburg and Borussia Dortmund boss Marco Rose is on a short list of 3 candidates to succeed Iraola once he departs the club. Moving on, and Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta wants his side to play with, in his words, pure fire as they prepare for one of their biggest weeks in years. The Gunners host Sporting on Wednesday, having won 1-0 in Lisbon last week for a place in the Champions League semi-finals. That was the only victory for the Premier League leaders in their past 4 games, having lost in all 3 domestic competitions. On Sunday they visit Manchester City, their closest challengers in the title race, and the team that beat them in the EFL Cup final. In the pre-match news conference before the second leg against Sporting, Arteta was asked if he had a message for the players and supporters, and he said, "No fear, pure fire, that's it." Cricket now, and England fast bowler Bryden Carter has been ruled out of his IPL stint with Sunrisers Hyderabad because of a hand injury. The 30-year-old sustained the injury to his right hand, which is his bowling hand, in training and will return home to be assessed. It is the second time in as many seasons Carter had to pull out of the Sunrisers squad without playing a game, as last year he had a toe injury. To tennis, and less than 48 hours after losing the Monte Carlo Masters final to rival Yannick Sinner, Carlos Alcaraz survived an injury scare to defeat Otto Vertinen and reached the last 16 of the Barcelona Open. The Spaniard, who must win the tournament to reclaim the World No. 1 spot from Sinner, defeated the Finn 6-4, 6-2 despite receiving a medical timeout for a wrist issue at the end of the first set. He is chasing his third title of the season this week after completing the career Grand Slam at the Australian Open and triumphing at the ATP 500 event in Doha. Finally, to boxing, and Eddie Hearn says he and Anthony Joshua have discussed the contract for a blockbuster battle with Tyson Fury, but says his fighter could take a warm-up bout in July before facing his Brit rival in November. Fury is reportedly already signed for the long-awaited All-British mega fight and issued a fresh challenge to AJ after his points victory over Arslanbek Makhmudov at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Saturday. Joshua did not commit to the Fury fight. There had been speculation he could take a warm-up bout in July, with Deontay Wilder said to be a potential rival. If he comes through that, he could then confirm his intention to fight Fury in November. That's all for now. We'll have more later. These are your latest sports headlines, and I'm Jack Ogleby. We start with football, and Bournemouth boss Andoni Iraola is to lead the club at the end of the season. Iraola is out of contract in 3 months and has turned down numerous offers to extend his stay amid interest from his former side Athletic Club and links to Premier League rivals. It's understood former Salzburg and Borussia Dortmund boss Marco Rose is on a short list of 3 candidates to succeed Iraola once he departs the club. Moving on, and Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta wants his side to play with, in his words, pure fire as they prepare for one of their biggest weeks in years. The Gunners host Sporting on Wednesday, having won 1-0 in Lisbon last week for a place in the Champions League semi-finals. That was the only victory for the Premier League leaders in their past 4 games, having lost in all 3 domestic competitions. On Sunday they visit Manchester City, their closest challengers in the title race, and the team that beat them in the EFL Cup final. In the pre-match news conference before the second leg against Sporting, Arteta was asked if he had a message for the players and supporters, and he said, No fear, pure fire, that's it. Cricket now, and England fast bowler Bryden Carter has been ruled out of his IPL stint with Sunrisers Hyderabad because of a hand injury. The 30-year-old sustained the injury to his right hand, which is his bowling hand, in training and will return home to be assessed. It is the second time in as many seasons Carter had to pull out of the Sunrisers squad without playing a game, as last year he had a toe injury. To tennis, and less than 48 hours after losing the Monte Carlo Masters final to rival Yannick Sinner, Carlos Alcaraz survived an injury scare to defeat Otto Virtanen and reached the last 16 of the Barcelona Open. The Spaniard, who must win the tournament to reclaim the World #1 spot from Sinner, defeated the Finn 6-4, 6-2 despite receiving a medical timeout for a wrist issue at the end of the first set. He is chasing his third title of the season this week after completing the career Grand Slam at the Australian Open and triumphing at the ATP 500 event in Doha. Finally, to boxing, and Eddie Hearn says he and Anthony Joshua have discussed the contract for a blockbuster battle with Tyson Fury, but says his fighter could take a warm-up bout in July before facing his Brit rival in November. Fury is reportedly already signed for the long-awaited All-British mega fight and issued a fresh challenge to AJ after his points victory over Arslanbek Makhmudov at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Saturday. Joshua did not commit to the Fury fight. There had been speculation he could take a warm-up bout in July, with Deontay Wilder said to be a potential rival. If he comes through that, he could then confirm his intention to fight Fury in November. That's all for now. We'll have more later. These are your latest sports headlines, and I'm Jack Ogleby. We start with football, and Bournemouth boss Andoni Iraola is to lead the club at the end of the season. Iraola is out of contract in 3 months and has turned down numerous offers to extend his stay amid interest from his former side Athletic Club and links to Premier League rivals. It's understood former Salzburg and Borussia Dortmund boss Marco Rose is on a short list of 3 candidates to succeed Iraola once he departs the club. Moving on, and Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta wants his side to play with, in his words, pure fire as they prepare for one of their biggest weeks in years. The Gunners host Sporting on Wednesday, having won 1-0 in Lisbon last week for a place in the Champions League semi-finals. That was the only victory for the Premier League leaders in their past 4 games, having lost in all 3 domestic competitions. On Sunday they visit Manchester City, their closest challengers in the title race, and the team that beat them in the EFL Cup final. In the pre-match news conference before the second leg against Sporting, Arteta was asked if he had a message for the players and supporters, and he said, "No fear, pure fire, that's it." Cricket now, and England fast bowler Bryden Carter has been ruled out of his IPL stint with Sunrisers Hyderabad because of a hand injury. The 30-year-old sustained the injury to his right hand, which is his bowling hand, in training and will return home to be assessed. It is the second time in as many seasons Carter had to pull out of the Sunrisers squad without playing a game, as last year he had a toe injury. To tennis, and less than 48 hours after losing the Monte Carlo Masters final to rival Yannick Sinner, Carlos Alcaraz survived an injury scare to defeat Otto Virtanen and reached the last 16 of the Barcelona Open. The Spaniard, who must win the tournament to reclaim the World #1 spot from Sinner, defeated the Finn 6-4, 6-2 despite receiving a medical timeout for a wrist issue at the end of the first set. He is chasing his third title of the season this week after completing the career Grand Slam at the Australian Open and triumphing at the ATP 500 event in Doha. Finally, to boxing, and Eddie Hearn says he and Anthony Joshua have discussed the contract for a blockbuster battle with Tyson Fury, but says his fighter could take a warm-up bout in July before facing his Brit rival in November. Fury is reportedly already signed for the long-awaited All-British mega fight and issued a fresh challenge to AJ after his points victory over Arslanbek Makhmudov at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Saturday. Joshua did not commit to the Fury fight. There had been speculation he could take a warm-up bout in July, with Deontay Wilder said to be a potential rival. If he comes through that, he could then confirm his intention to fight Fury in November. That's all for now. We'll have more later. These are your latest sports headlines, and I'm Jack Ogleby. We start with football, and Bournemouth boss Andoni Iraola is to lead the club at the end of the season. Iraola is out of contract in 3 months and has turned down numerous offers to extend his stay amid interest from his former side Athletic Club and links to Premier League rivals. It's understood former Salzburg and Borussia Dortmund boss Marco Rose is on a short list of 3 candidates to succeed Iraola once he departs the club. Moving on, and Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta wants his side to play with, in his words, pure fire as they prepare for one of their biggest weeks in years. The Gunners host Sporting on Wednesday, having won 1-0 in Lisbon last week for a place in the Champions League semi-finals. That was the only victory for the Premier League leaders in their past 4 games, having lost in all 3 domestic competitions. On Sunday they visit Manchester City, their closest challengers in the title race, and the team that beat them in the EFL Cup final. In the pre-match news conference before the second leg against Sporting, Arteta was asked if he had a message for the players and supporters, and he said, "No fear, pure fire, that's it." Cricket now, and England fast bowler Bryden Carter has been ruled out of his IPL stint with Sunrisers Hyderabad because of a hand injury. The 30-year-old sustained the injury to his right hand, which is his bowling hand, in training and will return home to be assessed. It is the second time in as many seasons Carter had to pull out of the Sunrisers squad without playing a game, as last year he had a toe injury. To tennis, and less than 48 hours after losing the Monte Carlo Masters final to rival Yannick Sinner, Carlos Alcaraz survived an injury scare to defeat Otto Virtanen and reached the last 16 of the Barcelona Open. The Spaniard, who must win the tournament to reclaim the World #1 spot from Sinner, defeated the Finn 6-4, 6-2 despite receiving a medical timeout for a wrist issue at the end of the first set. He is chasing his 3rd title of the season this week after completing the career Grand Slam at the Australian Open and triumphing at the ATP 500 event in Doha. Finally, to boxing, and Eddie Hearn says he and Anthony Joshua have discussed the contract for a blockbuster battle with Tyson Fury, but says his fighter could take a warm-up bout in July before facing his Brit rival in November. Fury is reportedly already signed for the long-awaited All-British mega fight and issued a fresh challenge to AJ after his points victory over Arslanbek Makhmudov at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Saturday. Joshua did not commit to the Fury fight. There had been speculation he could take a warm-up bout in July, with Deontay Wilder said to be a potential rival. If he comes through that, he could then confirm his intention to fight Fury in November. That's all for now. We'll have more later. These are your latest sports headlines, and I'm Jack Ogleby. We start with football, and Bournemouth boss Andoni Iraola is to lead the club at the end of the season. Iraola is out of contract in 3 months and has turned down numerous offers to extend his stay, amid interest from his former side Athletic Club and links to Premier League rivals. It's understood former Salzburg and Borussia Dortmund boss Marco Rose is on a short list of 3 candidates to succeed Iraola once he departs the club. Moving on, and Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta wants his side to play with, in his words, pure fire as they prepare for one of their biggest weeks in years. The Gunners host Sporting on Wednesday, having won 1-0 in Lisbon last week for a place in the Champions League semi-finals. That was the only victory for the Premier League leaders in their past 4 games, having lost in all 3 domestic competitions. On Sunday they visit Manchester City, their closest challengers in the title race, and the team that beat them in the EFL Cup final. In the pre-match news conference before the second leg against Sporting, Arteta was asked if he had a message for the players and supporters, and he said, "No fear, pure fire, that's it." Cricket now, and England fast bowler Bryden Carter has been ruled out of his IPL stint with Sunrisers Hyderabad because of a hand injury. The 30-year-old sustained the injury to his right hand, which is his bowling hand, in training and will return home to be assessed. It is the second time in as many seasons Carter had to pull out of the Sunrisers squad without playing a game, as last year he had a toe injury. To tennis, and less than 48 hours after losing the Monte Carlo Masters final to rival Yannick Sinner, Carlos Alcaraz survived an injury scare to defeat Otto Virtanen and reached the last 16 of the Barcelona Open. The Spaniard, who must win the tournament to reclaim the World #1 spot from Sinner, defeated the Finn 6-4, 6-2 despite receiving a medical timeout for a wrist issue at the end of the first set. He is chasing his 3rd title of the season this week after completing the career Grand Slam at the Australian Open and triumphing at the ATP 500 event in Doha. Finally, to boxing, and Eddie Hearn says he and Anthony Joshua have discussed the contract for a blockbuster battle with Tyson Fury, but says his fighter could take a warm-up bout in July before facing his Brit rival in November. Fury is reportedly already signed for the long-awaited All-British mega fight and issued a fresh challenge to AJ after his points victory over Arslanbek Makhmudov at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Saturday. Joshua did not commit to the Fury fight. There had been speculation he could take a warm-up bout in July, with Deontay Wilder said to be a potential rival. If he comes through that, he could then confirm his intention to fight Fury in November. That's all for now, we'll have more later. These are your latest sports headlines, and I'm Jack Ogleby. We start with football, and Bournemouth boss Andoni Iraola is to lead the club at the end of the season. Iraola is out of contract in 3 months and has turned down numerous offers to extend his stay, amid interest from his former side Athletic Club and links to Premier League rivals. It's understood former Salzburg and Borussia Dortmund boss Marco Rose is on a short list of 3 candidates to succeed Iraola once he departs the club. Moving on, and Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta wants his side to play with, in his words, pure fire as they prepare for one of their biggest weeks in years. The Gunners host Sporting on Wednesday, having won 1-0 in Lisbon last week for a place in the Champions League semi-finals. That was the only victory for the Premier League leaders in their past 4 games, having lost in all 3 domestic competitions. On Sunday they visit Manchester City, their closest challengers in the title race, and the team that beat them in the EFL Cup final. In the pre-match news conference before the second leg against Sporting, Arteta was asked if he had a message for the players and supporters, and he said, "No fear, pure fire, that's it." Cricket now, and England fast bowler Bryden Carter has been ruled out of his IPL stint with Sunrisers Hyderabad because of a hand injury. The 30-year-old sustained the injury to his right hand, which is his bowling hand, in training and will return home to be assessed. It is the second time in as many seasons Carter had to pull out of the Sunrisers squad without playing a game, as last year he had a toe injury. To tennis, and less than 48 hours after losing the Monte Carlo Masters final to rival Yannick Sinner, Carlos Alcaraz survived an injury scare to defeat Otto Virtanen and reached the last 16 of the Barcelona Open. The Spaniard, who must win the tournament to reclaim the World #1 spot from Sinner, defeated the Finn 6-4, 6-2 despite receiving a medical timeout for a wrist issue at the end of the first set. He is chasing his 3rd title of the season this week after completing the career Grand Slam at the Australian Open and triumphing at the ATP 500 event in Doha. Finally, to boxing, and Eddie Hearn says he and Anthony Joshua have discussed the contract for a blockbuster battle with Tyson Fury, but says his fighter could take a warm-up bout in July before facing his Brit rival in November. Fury is reportedly already signed for the long-awaited All-British mega fight and issued a fresh challenge to AJ after his points victory over Arslanbek Makhmudov at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Saturday. Joshua did not commit to the Fury fight. There had been speculation he could take a warm-up bout in July, with Deontay Wilder said to be a potential rival. If he comes through that, he could then confirm his intention to fight Fury in November. That's all for now, we'll have more later. These are your latest sports headlines, and I'm Jack Ogleby. We start with football, and Bournemouth boss Andoni Iraola is to lead the club at the end of the season. Iraola is out of contract in 3 months and has turned down numerous offers to extend his stay, amid interest from his former side Athletic Club and links to Premier League rivals. It's understood former Salzburg and Borussia Dortmund boss Marco Rose is on a short list of 3 candidates to succeed Iraola once he departs the club. Moving on, and Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta wants his side to play with, in his words, pure fire as they prepare for one of their biggest weeks in years. The Gunners host Sporting on Wednesday, having won 1-0 in Lisbon last week for a place in the Champions League semi-finals. That was the only victory for the Premier League leaders in their past 4 games, having lost in all 3 domestic competitions. On Sunday they visit Manchester City, their closest challengers in the title race, and the team that beat them in the EFL Cup final. In the pre-match news conference before the second leg against Sporting, Arteta was asked if he had a message for the players and supporters, and he said, "No fear, pure fire, that's it." Cricket now, and England fast bowler Bryden Carter has been ruled out of his IPL stint with Sunrisers Hyderabad because of a hand injury. The 30-year-old sustained the injury to his right hand, which is his bowling hand, in training and will return home to be assessed. It is the second time in as many seasons Carter had to pull out of the Sunrisers squad without playing a game, as last year he had a toe injury. To tennis, and less than 48 hours after losing the Monte Carlo Masters final to rival Yannick Sinner, Carlos Alcaraz survived an injury scare to defeat Otto Virtanen and reached the last 16 of the Barcelona Open. The Spaniard, who must win the tournament to reclaim the World #1 spot from Sinner, defeated the Finn 6-4, 6-2 despite receiving a medical timeout for a wrist issue at the end of the first set. He is chasing his 3rd title of the season this week after completing the career Grand Slam at the Australian Open and triumphing at the ATP 500 event in Doha. Finally, to boxing, and Eddie Hearn says he and Anthony Joshua have discussed the contract for a blockbuster battle with Tyson Fury, but says his fighter could take a warm-up bout in July before facing his Brit rival in November. Fury is reportedly already signed for the long-awaited All-British mega fight and issued a fresh challenge to AJ after his points victory over Arslanbek Makhmudov at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Saturday. Joshua did not commit to the Fury fight. There had been speculation he could take a warm-up bout in July, with Deontay Wilder said to be a potential rival. If he comes through that, he could then confirm his intention to fight Fury in November. That's all for now. We'll have more later. These are your latest sports headlines, and I'm Jack Ogleby. We start with football, and Bournemouth boss Andoni Iraola is to lead the club at the end of the season. Iraola is out of contract in 3 months and has turned down numerous offers to extend his stay, amid interest from his former side Athletic Club and links to Premier League rivals. It's understood former Salzburg and Borussia Dortmund boss Marco Rose is on a short list of 3 candidates to succeed Iraola once he departs the club. Moving on, and Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta wants his side to play with, in his words, pure fire as they prepare for one of their biggest weeks in years. The Gunners host Sporting on Wednesday, having won 1-0 in Lisbon last week for a place in the Champions League semi-finals. That was the only victory for the Premier League leaders in their past 4 games, having lost in all 3 domestic competitions. On Sunday they visit Manchester City, their closest challengers in the title race, and the team that beat them in the EFL Cup final. In the pre-match news conference before the second leg against Sporting, Arteta was asked if he had a message for the players and supporters, and he said, "No fear, pure fire, that's it." Cricket now, and England fast bowler Bryden Carter has been ruled out of his IPL stint with Sunrisers Hyderabad because of a hand injury. The 30-year-old sustained the injury to his right hand, which is his bowling hand, in training and will return home to be assessed. It is the second time in as many seasons Carter had to pull out of the Sunrisers squad without playing a game, as last year he had a toe injury. To tennis, and less than 48 hours after losing the Monte Carlo Masters final to rival Yannick Sinner, Carlos Alcaraz survived an injury scare to defeat Otto Virtanen and reached the last 16 of the Barcelona Open. The Spaniard, who must win the tournament to reclaim the World #1 spot from Sinner, defeated the Finn 6-4, 6-2 despite receiving a medical timeout for a wrist issue at the end of the first set. He is chasing his 3rd title of the season this week after completing the career Grand Slam at the Australian Open and triumphing at the ATP 500 event in Doha. Finally, to boxing, and Eddie Hearn says he and Anthony Joshua have discussed the contract for a blockbuster battle with Tyson Fury, but says his fighter could take a warm-up bout in July before facing his Brit rival in November. Fury is reportedly already signed for the long-awaited All-British mega fight and issued a fresh challenge to AJ after his points victory over Arslanbek Makhmudov at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Saturday. Joshua did not commit to the Fury fight. There had been speculation he could take a warm-up bout in July, with Deontay Wilder said to be a potential rival. If he comes through that, he could then confirm his intention to fight Fury in November. That's all for now. We'll have more later. These are your latest sports headlines, and I'm Jack Ogleby. We start with football, and Bournemouth boss Andoni Iraola is to lead the club at the end of the season. Iraola is out of contract in 3 months and has turned down numerous offers to extend his stay, amid interest from his former side Athletic Club and links to Premier League rivals. It's understood former Salzburg and Borussia Dortmund boss Marco Rose is on a short list of 3 candidates to succeed Iraola once he departs the club. Moving on, and Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta wants his side to play with, in his words, pure fire as they prepare for one of their biggest weeks in years. The Gunners host Sporting on Wednesday, having won 1-0 in Lisbon last week for a place in the Champions League semi-finals. That was the only victory for the Premier League leaders in their past 4 games, having lost in all 3 domestic competitions. On Sunday they visit Manchester City, their closest challengers in the title race, and the team that beat them in the EFL Cup final. In the pre-match news conference before the second leg against Sporting, Arteta was asked if he had a message for the players and supporters, and he said, "No fear, pure fire, that's it." Cricket now, and England fast bowler Bryden Carter has been ruled out of his IPL stint with Sunrisers Hyderabad because of a hand injury. The 30-year-old sustained the injury to his right hand, which is his bowling hand, in training and will return home to be assessed. It is the second time in as many seasons Cast had to pull out of the Sunrisers squad without playing a game, as last year he had a toe injury. To tennis, and less than 48 hours after losing the Monte Carlo Masters final to rival Jannik Sinner, Carlos Alcaraz survived an injury scare to defeat Otto Virtanen and reached the last 16 of the Barcelona Open. The Spaniard, who must win the tournament to reclaim the World No. 1 spot from Sinner, defeated the Finn 6-4, 6-2 despite receiving a medical timeout for a wrist issue at the end of the first set. He is chasing his third title of the season this week after completing the career Grand Slam at the Australian Open.
Over the Devonshire side could play into their hands, but they will need to pick up points to avoid being dragged in these final matches. As for Mansfield Town, they have likely done just about enough. It's likely that 15th downwards will be in the battle. Mansfield are in 13th on 53 points and have around about 2 or 3 games in hand over the teams around them. The playoffs are too much for them, so maybe just one more victory in their remaining 6 games will do the job to keep their place in League One next season. The lineups then, starting with the host Leyton Orient, is Dennis in goal, a back 4 of Morris.
Approaching at the Metropolitano, it's Atletico Madrid at home. And we will leave that just there because we're about to get underway at the Metropolitano Stadium for this huge Champions League second leg quarter-final clash. It's Atletico Madrid hosting Barcelona, this one in an all-Spanish tie. These two sides will be sick of the sight of each other. A 6th meeting between these two this season. On aggregate, it is 2-0 to Atletico Madrid, as we now see Barcelona instantly kicks off and they're instantly going to go along. Some interesting tweaks to the Barcelona lineup. Ferran Torres leads the line today so far with Lewandowski on the bench. Now that is quite the big call from Hansi Flick, and Marcus Rashford only has a spot on the bench. Lamine Yamal's getting his first touches though as he's driving forwards on a great run. He's still going. He goes for goal. What a save that is from Jan Musso. What a start from Barcelona, who'll be hoping to pull off an incredible comeback away from home against bitter Spanish rivals. But Lamine Yamal, you think if anyone's going to be a big part of it, it will be him. And what a save from Musso in the opening minute to tip it behind for a corner. It's myself, Kieran Graham, alongside Tom Wilson to bring you coverage of this one. I'll bring Tom in a moment after this corner that goes to the front post and Griezmann clears his lines, but Lamine Yamal didn't take him long to show a bit of brilliance.
No, what a big save that is, because if they score after 30 seconds, the tails would well and truly be up, wouldn't it, for Barcelona, and that would have stunned the crowd as well. That would have been a real moment in the game. Fortunately for Athletic, the goalkeeper was on hand, brilliant right arm, down towards the corner, stops Lamine Yamal just 30 seconds in, but a lightning beginning to the game. And of course, Lamine Yamal was always going to be involved heavily this evening, wasn't he? But very nearly half the deficit.
Yeah, exactly that. Atletico Madrid, like we said, 2-0 up on aggregate, chasing a first Champions League semi-final appearance for the first time since the 2016-17 season, as we see Koke coming forwards, turns away from his man, then finds Alvarez. It's great work from the ever-experienced Koke. Alvarez still coming forwards, he looks towards Lookman. It's a short pass. Koundé stumbles though, and here's Alvarez on the attack. He finds Lookman, who's into the penalty area. Good sliding challenge from Gavi. Still alive though. Griezmann plays it to the right hand side. Nice ball for Simeone. He had space at the back post for Lookman. Doesn't find him. Wins a throw. This has been an electric opening 2 minutes, Tom.
Yeah, end to end, isn't it? I thought maybe Lookman would have been offside there with that pass coming in from the far right from Simeone, but it's brilliant from Griezmann. His pass to Simeone is perfectly weighted into the channel. I think he's going to be key, Simeone, this evening. He worked so hard on and off the ball. Of course, he won the free kick last week that led to the first goal as well.
Yeah, he did. Simeone is instantly going to take a long throw in, and he's going to launch it into the penalty area. He does get some distance on it, cleared away by Dani Olmo. Well, I've covered quite a lot of Atletico Madrid in this campaign, and Simeone on the right-hand side has impressed me every single time. He looks a complete different player this season, but here's a counter-attack for Barcelona straight away. What a run that was from Pedri. He finds Lamine Yamal, who's driving forwards, gives it back to the right-hand side. It's Fermin Lopez who had that good run moments ago. Ruggieri clears his lines, comes off Fermin Lopez, and goes out of play for a throw. I mean, this is played like we're on the hour mark, and it's 0-0 and both sides have to score a goal. It has started that quick and high tempo. This is exactly what we want, Tom.
Yeah, absolutely. It's high energy, it's high tempo, as you say. Anyone that was thinking Atletico Madrid would come into the start of this game, maybe just sit back and see how long they could ride out at 0-0 and keep that 2-goal advantage. Well, they're very wrong. We're thankful for that. It's been end-to-end, it's been electric. You feel like both sides just want to go forward and score every time they get the ball. I know we're only 4 minutes in, but Atleti flying forward now down the right-hand side.
Yeah, that win last week from Atletico Madrid was their first victory over Barcelona in their last 5 head-to-head meetings, losing 4 as Barcelona could be in on goal. It's the through ball for Lamine Yamal, who's one-on-one and he slips it past the goalkeeper, and Barcelona have the early goal. Who else other than Lamine Yamal? It's a big moment at the start of this game. It's a mistake at the back. They've been caught out, have Atletico Madrid. He almost scored moments ago. Lamine Yamal with a lovely finish, so composed from the young man. He had a lot of time to think about it, which could be a forward's downfall. He didn't care. He's found the back of the net. What a start to this game. It's game on.
Well, defensive solidity and composure built into the DNA of Atletico Madrid, but seemingly none of it on show this evening. It's been a lightning start from Barcelona. They take full advantage of that mistake in possession there. He has so much to do. Even still, Kieran, one-on-one with the goalkeeper. It's brilliant positioning from Musso, who's denied Lamine Yamal once already early on in the game. He just rolls it through the goalkeeper's legs into the back of the net. What a first 5 minutes, and what a big goal that could be as well in the context of the Champions League.
He's special, isn't he, Lamine Yamal? I mean, I get a little bit of flack for my opinion, and I think he could be. He really could go on to be the best we've seen in this sport. We've seen 2 of the absolute legends go ahead with each other for the last 15 years, so in Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. This kid is that good, Lamine Yamal. I mean, every time I watch him, I'm blown away completely, and he's had a good start. He has a lot to do there, like you say. He just rolls it through the goalkeeper's legs. Like, there's absolutely no pressure on his shoulders at all. And I mean, they probably deserved it for the start they've made. They've been so up for it, Barcelona.
Yeah, well, we saw last week when they went down to 10, someone had to step up to try and get them back into the game. Of course, it was in vain in the end. They lost 2-0 in that first leg, but he was the one that was driving the team forward. He was trying. He took the game by the scruff of the neck whenever he could, and he's been the key man already so far. He spoke yesterday before the game about he was happy to have responsibility in the side at such a young age as well. He's done exactly that. He's brought his team within touching distance of Atletico Madrid again.
Yes, Cancelo's just taken his man down, so it's going to be a free kick the way of Atletico Madrid. They've not lost a Champions League knockout game at home, have Atletico Madrid, since 1996 against Ajax. Since then, winning 14 and drawing 7. So the record at home for Atletico Madrid is very impressive at this level. But it's been quite a stunning start from Barcelona so far, which I wouldn't say we didn't expect. We knew that Barcelona would be well and truly up for this one to try and cause the upset. Rafinha was interviewed and quoted before the game saying, "We will come back for sure," as we now see Griezmann almost finding his way in behind. Gavi with another interception. He's done a couple of them. Dani Olmo could have used his goalkeeper there. Instead, he just boots it out for a throw-in, and that didn't seem very Barcelona-esque.
Yeah, well, maybe they've seen the risk that Atleti took at the other end, and that went punished. Maybe that was just in the back of his mind. He just thought, Atletico Madrid might be quick to close me down here. I don't want to give the goalkeeper anything to do. Let's just get rid of it, defend from the throw-in instead of defending from the goalkeeper, potentially, if he makes mistakes. So, out for a throw, but yeah, Atletico Madrid will be really wanting to regain that 2-goal advantage as soon as possible. Yeah,
they'll be desperate. 7 minutes in, what an opening 7 minutes it's been so far. Me and Tom Cannon knew this was going to be a really good game, one that we looked forward to, as Simeone went short from the throw-in the end. He ends up winning another throw where the Barcelona man goes down. I think the Atleti fans, they all rose to their feet on that far side. Not sure if there was a bit of afters between Pedri and Simeone. As we now see this thrown ready to be launched in. Simeone with the ball in hand once again, an opportunity to put those big centre halves into the penalty area. Simeone takes the run up, he launches it in once again. It's going to be a flick on from Longley that finds Alvarez. He flicks it on for Lookman, brings it down onto his left boot. Great opportunity. Never really settled for him. It never dropped. It was always a bouncing ball. He knew he had to take it slightly quickly because he had players closing him down. It's a good chance though that he slices way wide.
It's brilliant from Alvarez. We spoke before the game started, Kieran, about how fond of him we are, and it's his touch that sets that one up. And as you say, feels like he has to rush it there, Lookman, and he probably does, to be honest. The defender is coming thick and fast, and the angle is getting shorter and shorter by the second, and it's out of play. It's a missed opportunity there.
Yeah, it certainly is. As we now see, Eric Garcia receives it from his fellow namesake in Juan Garcia. As we now see the ball into the middle, it's going to be Pedri. Turns away from his man, plays it to Lamine Yamal. What a ball in behind that is for Olmo. The goalkeeper slips. Olmo pokes it, looking to get it past him. It's saved in the end from Musa, and then he pounces on the rebound. I was quite surprised that Olmo went for goal. I actually thought he was going to try to take it round him to his left. Maybe he should have done. Musa makes a big save, but he slipped in the build-up, which is why Dani Olmo was allowed to get in behind. But Atletico Madrid are not settled at the back.
Yeah, and well, of course, no Lewandowski in the squad. Here come Atleti.
Yeah, as we see Griezmann, ball with the outside of his boot. It's a decent one towards Lookman. Koundé gets there and clears his lines. Lookman's going to keep it in play. I'll come back to Tom in a moment about that previous chance for Olmo, but here we see Lookman. He finds Ruggieri on the left-hand side. He hangs up a decent ball in, and nobody's attacking it. It falls to Koke, who hits it on the volley. He puts it over the bar. It takes a deflection in the end and out for a corner. A couple of chances to unpack.
Yeah, I was just going to say, there's no Lewandowski in the squad. We questioned why that might be. Clearly, the game plan from Hansi Flick is press and energy and pace, and let's try and get in behind. You're much better off at doing that if you've got Ferran Torres or Dani Olmo up there as opposed to Lewandowski. Of course, what the Polish international brings is that composure in front of goal, that ability to score. We didn't see that there with Dani Olmo, but it is a good save from Musso. I think Atleti fans will be very grateful that he is playing this evening, because he saved them 3 times already.
Yeah, exactly that. And easier said than done that Olmo maybe should have taken it around the goalkeeper, but it certainly seemed open. It felt like Musa had committed himself that much that Dani Olmo could have done that. But we see the corner whipped in for it. Let's go to the back post. Ferran Torres with a dangerous header back across his own penalty area. Eric Garcia clears his lines. He's been hooked back forwards into once again a dangerous area, but Clement Longley, he's a little bit off balance, and it goes out of play for a goal kick. 10.5 minutes in. Probably the quickest 10 minutes we've seen all season in commentary for us too, because it's been that lively of a start. So many talking points already in this game. Eric Garcia to carry the ball forwards. Of course, a big miss at the back. He's the suspended Pau Kabasi because of his red card last week in the reverse fixture. So it's almost like makeshift centre-halves today in Eric Garcia and Gerard Martin. We know Garcia is a natural centre-back, but a majority of his playing time under Hansi Flick has actually come in midfield because of injuries to the likes of Frankie de Jong in the past and Pedri and Gavi. But we now see Koundé in towards Garcia again, formerly of Manchester City, of course, under Pep Guardiola. We now see the ball with Gerard Martin. Now he's a natural left-back playing centre-half today, and it feels like Barcelona just want their moment in possession for now. Yeah,
they look a little bit more defensively solid, don't they, at the start of the game? Yes, they've got that high energy and that tempo, but they look a little bit more composed as well.
Yeah, nice ball down the line from Lamine Yamal, looking towards Jules Koundé. Well, that's good work from Ademola Lookman. You've got to be a hard-working winger, don't you, when you play for Diego Simeone. They clear their lines up towards Griezmann, who's battling with Gerard Martin. It's a great flick on from Griezmann. He picks it back as well from the ricochet. He could have played that to the left-hand side. He never did. He plays a poor ball in the middle instead. They've got away with one there. There's a strong challenge on Llorente. He follows through after winning the ball. Eric Garcia is completely bemused by the referee's decision to give a free kick. Llorente maybe made a meal of it. We're going to see it back now, but yeah, it's a late one.
It's a late one. It is a bit more of a coming together. I think it's closer to a 50-50 than it looked at first. Strong challenge, and of course it's high tempo, it's high energy, as we keep saying. Last week there was a real undertone of bubbling over. I think that's certainly carried on this week as well.
Yeah, certainly. You see the ball in behind, well headed away by Eric Garcia. Jules Koundé with a very strange header that's intercepted by Julian Alvarez. He's starting to pop up in a lot of areas, isn't he, the Argentine? He's starting to get heavily involved. Ball across towards Lenormand. He goes all the way back to his goalkeeper. Well, that loss last week for Barcelona in the first leg was their only loss in their last 11 games, winning 9 and drawing 1. So it does just show the form that Barcelona have been on. They've got the personnel to rotate as well. Like we said, some key players on the bench for Hansi Flick's side if they need to call upon them, in the likes of De Jong, Rashford and Lewandowski, just to name a few. 3 players who'd probably start for most sides in the world at the moment, given form. As you see the ball go ricochet in behind and out for a throw. What do we make of the response from Atletico since conceding?
Yeah, it's been okay, hasn't it? It hasn't been brilliant. They haven't been sort of free-flowing. As I say, Barcelona just look a little bit more defensively solid. When Barcelona come forward, you think they're going to score every single time, and they nearly have, but for Musso in goal. But when Atleti come forward, you just feel that they'll need to do a little bit more. They need an extra 10% in the final third. They haven't really broke them down just yet.
Yeah, balling behind towards Lamine Yamal. He's going to get there on the right-hand side. The ball skids off the turf, and that's just a bit weak from him in the end. He felt like he was a little bit off balance. Simeone's, he's either raging or praising his players. You can never know with Simeone.
It's hard to tell, isn't it? Maybe the other Simeone might have a better idea.
As you see, Eric Garcia goes all the way back to his goalkeeper. Well, it's very even on possession so far. 49% for the home side, meaning, of course, 51 for the away. But 14 minutes in, what a great game this has been so far as Gavi finds Dani Olmo. He looks to play it into Ferran Torres. It ricochets away from him and into the path of Musso. He clears his lines. It's a ball in towards the head of Simeone. He deals with it pretty well, actually. He's not the tallest, Simeone. He then picks up a nice pass from Llorente. Simeone's going to guide it in towards the left-hand side. It's nice play from him again. Ruggieri out towards Ademola Lookman, who's at 1v1 against Jules Koundé. What a great battle that's going to be today, as Lookman's still going into the left-hand side corner of the penalty area. Lookman then cuts back once again, finds Llorente. A lot of space for Ruggieri on the left. He takes a touch, gets it out of his feet, whips it into the penalty area, and well headed away as Lenormand flies across to win the second ball. Atletico Madrid regain possession once more as they're just starting to have their moment again in this game, just trying to feel a little bit settled in this. When you see the press from the likes of Gavi and Pedri, they're not just sitting and watching Atletico play football, are they? They're really going after them at times. As you now see Musso with a chipped ball back to his centre half. Slightly fortunate that nobody's applying any form of press on Clement Lenglet there, who, of course, made the mistake for the first goal as well, and he's needed to settle since then. Yeah,
absolutely. It was a lax in concentration. You wouldn't expect that, given the stage that these players are on. Of course, it's a huge moment, isn't it, in the context of both seasons. Barcelona already qualified for next season's Champions League, but they, as you mentioned, have not been in the semi-final since 2016. They've not won it since the year before in 2015, despite being five-time winners overall. They'll be desperate to make it to another final, to potentially win another Champions League crown. So you can understand the pressure, and that clearly got to Clement Lenglet in that first sort of 5 or 6 minutes when that mistake was made. No pressure, though, seemingly on Lamine Yamal with the finish.
Yeah, Musso with another poor ball out of play. He's had a weird start, hasn't he? Jan Musso in goal for Atletico Madrid. Yes, he's made that big save from Dani Olmo, and he made the big save at the start as well from Lamine Yamal. But I just think with the ball at his feet, he's looked a little bit nervy so far. The second choice goalkeeper, playing because of an injury recently to Jan Oblak. As you now see the ball with Pedri on this left-hand side, he finds Gerard Martin.
There's a real difference, isn't there, Kieran, in the pressing of both teams. You can see now Barcelona on the ball just inside their own half. They're not pressing, they're putting on a half press. They're just kind of trying to block the passing lanes as opposed to going and really trying to get the ball back. A little bit there from Lookman, but whenever Atleti have got the ball in a similar situation, there are 3-4 players in Barca shirts trying to win the ball.
Yeah, I feel like Barcelona just wanting are trying to find a way to get Lamine Yamal involved as much as possible. It just feels like Atletico Madrid are just trying to usher Barcelona to the other side every time. Balling behind almost finds the intended target of Ferran Torres. There was a lovely boot stuck out there by Lenormand to stop that. But once again, Atletico Madrid played just an overhit pass out from the back that goes out for another throw, and Ademola Lookman not really given any chance to try and get that, but that boot there from Lenormand facing the other way as well, that's crucial, because Ferran Torres would have been one-on-one.
Yeah, it was a good run as well from Torres. He just tried to get in between the centre-half and the full-back, which can always be a dangerous position, because you never really know who's going to pick him up. The centre-half, as you said, though, just sticks out a leg and stops that ball going through. Otherwise, he's potentially one-on-one.
Here's now see Gavi in possession, goes to the left-hand side, Gerard Martin into Fermin Lopez. He plays a really poor ball. He wins it back though as Pedri picks up possession again, turns away from his man, finds a nice ball towards Gavi. Now it's going to be with Jules Koundé, back heel from Ferran Torres. It's lovely football once again. It was quite a similar interception to the one we just saw from Lenormand. This time it was from Koke just to stop Barcelona from going through on goal. Lookman finds a pass into the middle. It's going to be Alvarez. Switched it to the right-hand side. Griezmann on the full stretch. Can't get there. And Cancelo can drive forwards now in a lot of space. He cuts onto his stronger right boot. He finds Dani Olmo. Lets it run across his body. Finds Lamine Yamal, who looks to dink it into the middle. Never really on from Yamal. Dani Olmo went down. Nothing in it. And the ball in the hands of the keeper.
Yeah, it's a nice idea, isn't it? Little dink over the top. Starts initially with Cancelo winning the ball. That pass to Griezmann wasn't the Frenchman's fault, but it was just behind him. And Barcelona really could have punished them there. Here come Atleti.
Let's go with the ball towards the left-hand side. Cleared away by Koundé towards his teammate, but a good footing from Llorente, who ends up missing the ball. Griezmann with another poor pass in the middle that's intercepted. He's had a few of those so far. Antoine Griezmann hasn't been able to get going just yet. We now see Dani Olmo on the ball in the middle, and now it's just going to slow down a little bit for Barcelona, who are going off the back of a 4-1 win over bitter rivals Espanyol at the weekend. So they come into it with that little bit of confidence, knowing that they can score a lot of goals if needed. Today they definitely need to do so. As we see Pedri balling towards Dani Olmo, who's going to drive forwards. He finds Ferran Torres, back to Olmo again, but it's well cleared away by this time it was Lenormand again. He's had a busy start to this one, the Spanish centre-half. Koundé finds Eric Garcia. That's going to be Pedri in towards Gavi. Two midfielders that have, of course, come through the ranks at Barcelona from the academy, just like Lamine Yamal, just like a lot of the players within this Barcelona setup these days. You've got Fermin Lopez, Balde, who's, of course, not starting today, but plenty more as well, as we now see Lopez into Torres. Now it's going to be Pedri. Turns away from his man. Plays it to the right-hand side for Jules Koundé. Finds Lamine Yamal. Poor touch from him. Really unlike him. Goes out of play for a throw in. A rare mistake from Lamine Yamal.
It is, yeah, and it was a nice spell of possession there for Barcelona as well. The game's certainly slowed down. It isn't as frantic or as end-to-end as it was in that opening 10 minutes. And I think that will suit both sides, really. Neither want to be going back and forth for the whole 90 minutes, do they? But it'll suit Barcelona more because they've had more of the ball, albeit whenever they do have it, there's a real wall of Atleti players. That's probably how Atleti should have started the game, being really defensively solid, put the bodies behind the ball, wait for the game to slow down, and then maybe try and attack and get a third. Of course, they were caught out, and the mistake as well from Longley means that the deficit is halved. It means that they can't really sit back for the whole game. I think it's working for now, though, just to, as I say, settle things down.
Yes, now see Gavi in towards Koundé. Poor ball. And it comes off the Frenchman and goes out for a throw-in. Still remains at 1-0 to Barcelona on the night. 2-1 to Atletico on aggregate, but we'd be daft to think there's not more goals coming in this one. For what side, we could not tell you, but we now see the ball on the right-hand side. Molina plays it forwards. Not seen much of Nahuel Molina so far in this one. They've cleared it out for a throw in Barcelona. Griezmann takes the throw in fairly quickly towards Llorente. Back to Antoine Griezmann again. An option down the right for Simeone. Doesn't use him. Cuts onto his stronger left foot. He's going to switch it to the left-hand side. And a great ball for Lookman. Good first touch. Who's into the penalty area? Lookman step overs onto his left foot. Across the face. Goal. Finds Griezmann. And he's put it wide in the end. He's adamant it should be a corner. The referee has given a goal kick. Lovely play, though, from Lookman.
Yeah, it all starts from Griezmann. I think anyone who likes football must love watching Antoine Griezmann. The ball sticks to him. He's got such a lovely way of moving the ball and moving his body. He just dinks it over the top to Lookman, who I thought took too long at first. I thought you've taken too many touches there. Get it out your feet and try to get a cross in. But clearly I was wrong. He was waiting for the run, and the run came from Griezmann. Griezmann's right. It should be a corner.
Yeah, that's a clear corner as well, isn't it? I mean, that's such a clear block.
Yeah, he's probably going on target, Kieran, if not for that sliding challenge.
Yeah, there's a turn from Ferran Torres. That's a late challenge from Lenormand, who goes straight into the back of the number 7, another former City player in this Barcelona setup. Quite a few of them, isn't there, in the likes of Eric Garcia, Cancelo and Ferran Torres. As we've just seen that turn again, yeah, Lenormand can have absolutely no complaints about that one. But with that, 22.5 minutes on the clock. We've reached the halfway stage of this first half as Lopez goes down under the challenge. He's going to go for a goal kick in the end. But like I said, halfway stage of this first half. Atletico Madrid 0, Barcelona 1 on the night. 2-1 to the home side on aggregate, thanks to a goal from Lamine Yamal. in this one to really kick things off for an exciting evening of Champions League football, and it will be Tom to take you through to half-time.
Cheers, Kieran. Yeah, a 6th meeting this season. That's right, 6 meetings between these two sides already this season. Barcelona won both the Liga fixtures, a 3-1 win at home and a 2-1 win at the stadium that they're playing at this evening, Estadio Metropolitano. Barca also won 3-0 in the second leg of the semi-final for the Copa del Rey, but the context there was that Atleti had won 4-0 in the home fixture. Ball through to the left-hand side where Ferran Torres is in!
Wow.
And it's a finish off the left boot of Ferran Torres. The Atleti defence were all over the place, and Torres was able to steal in behind. It'll be interesting to see if he's onside here, the former Manchester City man. Well, just like that, Barcelona are level on aggregate.
Wow, it couldn't have gone much worse, could it, for Atletico Madrid this opening 24 minutes? Defensively, they just look so poor. I looked at the lineup and I thought, how on earth is Lewandowski not starting? Well, Hansi Flick has got it spot on, hasn't he? Literally spot on. We've seen it back again. They're going to check if his boot's offside. He looks onside to me, but he just gives up.
Yeah.
Just Clement Longley. He completely gives up when Ferran Torres beats him. I mean, that is woeful defending. I mean, he's really been poor so far. He's been a big poor part of the 2 goals so far. The finish is outstanding on his weaker left boot. It really is. But Clement Longley, that is awful. Very
Similar to Araujo against Newcastle. I covered that game, the 7-2 victory at home. He had a very similar reaction. Here come Barcelona once again on the right hand side. Yamal dinks ball in towards the area. Oh, it's going to be 3-2, is it? Saved by the goalkeeper. It's brilliant from Musso. Oh, I mean, what would the scoreline be without the Argentine in goal? He denies the Barcelona man at very close distance. The referee's paused play. He's ushering on the physios. Atletico Madrid 0, Barcelona 2. It's 2-2 on aggregate. There's blood, by the way, steaming from the nose of someone down in a Barcelona shirt. Can't quite actually see who it is.
Lopez.
Looks like, yeah, Lopez it is. That's really, really bad. It's grim viewing, actually. I'm surprised we're still seeing that on our off-tube pictures. Ball in from Yamal, outside of the foot, towards the back post, and he... he collides with the left boot of the goalkeeper, who's done nothing wrong, by the way, has he? He's just made the save. It's his trailing left leg that really collides with Fermin Lopez's nose. That is a really awful thing to... I mean, that is nasty. Like you say, he's done nothing wrong there, Musso. He's made a great save, but as he's dropping, it's the stud straight to his face as well. I mean, that is going to leave quite the mark. I tell you what, something we've not really focused on as of yet because of him being down. The cross from Lamine Yamal is just on a new level. Outside of the boot, he couldn't have crossed it any more perfect. It couldn't have been better from Lamine Yamal. What technique, what accuracy, what precision. Finds the head of Fermin Lopez. It's unfortunate that maybe it's him. Anybody else running onto it, maybe you'd back him to get there. We've just seen that Ferran Torres goal again. I think a lot to be alluded to in the defending from Clement Longley, but take nothing away from the finish. But Barcelona have just come so close to making it 3-2 on aggregate. What an opening half this has been so far. Yeah, it's been absolutely brilliant from Hansi Flick's side. They've not put a foot wrong yet. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Barcelona 2. It's 2-2 on aggregate, and they have certainly turned it around, the visitors. Well, Rafinha, as Kira mentioned, had said before the game that they will turn it around, they will win the game, and they're certainly on their way to doing so. Now, there's a pause in play, which I think both sets of players will be pretty grateful for. Certainly the Atletico Madrid players will, just to stem the flow of what's been such a high energy, momentum swinging opening 27 minutes. You're listening to Off-Tube Independent Studio-based commentary. It has been breathless so far, the game at the Estadio Metropolitano. Lamine Yamal was denied within the first 30 seconds by Joan Musso. Wasn't denied, though, after 4 minutes when he found the back of the net through the legs of the goalkeeper. Then 20 minutes after that, Ferran Torres got Barcelona's second. Question marks about the defending from Clement Longley, who seemingly gave up as the former Manchester City man was played in behind, and it was a finish across the face of the goalkeeper to make it 2 for the visitors. We're all square on aggregate. The game is still paused, which there's no real surprise about, because Fermin Lopez has really caught one on the nose. He'd got a band around his forehead as well, which had missed up until that point. So he's been in the wars lately, has Fermin Lopez. But yeah, as I say, Musso not really done anything wrong. or rather certainly didn't mean to do anything wrong. He'd made the save and his body was outstretched. It was the outstretched left leg which collided with the face of Fermin Lopez. The game still paused, and it probably gives the home fans a moment just to think, what the hell has just happened?
Yeah, there's probably a lot of noise just coming from one area of the stadium, in this the Metropolitano. It's a moment for these Atletico Madrid players to gather their thoughts, isn't it? I'm surprised they're not all stood with Simeone right now. I really am. This is a moment where they need to all just chat with each other and sort things out. You can see Barcelona scoring 3, 4 and 5 in this when you really can. You can't see Atletico Madrid scoring any time soon, so something has to change, doesn't it? We're just seeing how close that offside call was. It was like a full boot onside, really, wasn't it? It was, Clement Lenglet kept him onside, then the poor defending straight after it. But yeah, what a great game this has been.
And hopefully it will continue very shortly. We've seen Marcus Rashford getting warmed up, but Fermin Lopez is back to his feet. He's on the touchline now and seemingly going to be okay to continue as Lamine Yamal prepares to swing this corner in. It's towards the front post. It's a low one, drilled towards goal. It's flicked at that front post instinctively by Gavi, then collected by Musso safely into the Argentine's hands. He quickly bowls out. The ball from right to left looking for Lookman is touched off the toes of the former Atalanta man and out for a throw. It was, as I say, Gavi at that front post. He flicked it. Actually comes off Griezmann before it's collected by Musso. Here is Koke though for Atleti. Ball out towards the far side. Atleti are 3 times Europa League winners and 3 times runners-up in this competition. They have been the bridesmaid and not the bride on so many occasions over the years. Is this their year? Well, it looked like it would have been coming into this evening's fixture. A 2-0 lead after last week's first leg. They've now squandered that lead. We're all square as we were at the start of the first leg. Half an hour gone, 2-2 on aggregate as Barcelona lead 2-0 on the night. And you have to say, Kieran, it's a deserved lead, isn't it, from the visitors? That Musso has made maybe 4 saves which otherwise would have been goals. I'll get your thoughts on that in a second, because here comes Llorente down the right hand side. He's got Lookman to aim for. He aims for Lookman, and Lookman finds the back of the net. It's past the goalkeeper. Well, it's not quite a 2-goal lead restored, but they have got one back. There's a motion inside the Metropolitano which we haven't seen for 30 minutes. They've been stunned up until now, but it's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2.
And just like that, who'd have thought that Atletico Madrid get the 3rd goal in this game? What a counter attack down the right hand side. The Atletico Madrid fans turning to the Barcelona fans who are in the gods of the Metropolitano. It seems it's a big moment in this one. It just felt like Max Llorente was just waiting for the right time. He was holding on to it. You thought, has he waited too long? He puts it on an absolute plate for Lookman. It's a great finish though with his right boot. He finds the corner, a little bit of height on it. Still not an easy finish. Bounces it into the ground. Koundé didn't have the pace to catch up to him. What a game this has been. 2-1. I mean, it's just fantastic. Great finish from Lookman. Like I say, it looks simple. It really isn't. It's an outstanding finish from the Nigerian, who was crediting at the start of this game. What an impact he's made since joining from Atalanta. Looks a new player. Well, he loves playing on the big stage in Europe, doesn't he, Adam Lookman?
Absolutely does. Scored a hat-trick, didn't he, in the Europa League final in 2024 to overcome Bayer Leverkusen, who of course had been unbeaten in all competitions coming into that game, and he scored to restore a 1-goal advantage for Atletico Madrid. What a game. 32 minutes gone. Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2. We have been spoiled this evening and could be spoiled further, because here comes Olmo out towards the right hand side for Lamine Yamal. He's got Olmo to aim for, moves infield and gets away from a couple of challenges, still going, then goes down. 2 players around him, then eventually 4 players around Lamine Yamal. The ball swept away, but only as far as Cancelo on the far left hand side. Here is Lopez on the left byline, ball into the area, takes a deflection. Musso will collect that. He gratefully plucks it out of the air. Barcelona aren't done yet.
No, they're definitely not, and this game's far from done, isn't it? Fermin Lopez, he seems okay now. Seems like he's barely got a scratch on his face somehow. I'm not sure how that's become possible, but we now see Atletico Madrid back in possession. But I mean, there is no limit on how many goals we could see today. There really isn't.
No, it's unbelievable stuff so far. Both teams want to win this game. They're desperate to make it through to the semi-final of the UEFA Champions League. And the winner of this game will play the winner of the tie between Arsenal and Sporting. The ball's back with Joan Garcia, who'd had very little to do up until that goal. That's a brilliant touch from Martin, and out towards the left-hand side for Cancelo. Outside of the football, down the line. It's going to be a bit heavy for Lopez to reach. Across comes Lenormand. He tries to clear, comes off Lopez. Then there's a coming together, and the Atleti player Lenormand wins the free kick. 33.5 gone. Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2. Koke takes the free kick quickly out towards the right-hand side for Llorente. He laid it on a plate for Ademola Lookman for his 6th goal in all competitions for Atleti this season. Ball out towards the right-hand side, looking for Simeone. He's going to give chase as it's poked back towards Garcia. And Garcia goes to Gerard Martin on the left-hand side. Now Cancelo chops back onto his favoured right, and Barcelona back in possession. Into a central position now for the captain this evening, Pedri. Turns on a sixpence and then plays it forward towards Lamine Yamal. Touched away though by Ruggeri, but Pedri was caught in the aftermath. That will be a free kick. And the game has resumed the pace, Kieran, of the first 10-15 minutes, hasn't it? There's a little bit of a lull there. And then, of course, that goal from Atletico Madrid has certainly roused the crowd, and the players responding to that.
Yeah, they are. And now they're up for it. It's been a great game. What a watch it's been. But Atletico Madrid, they do have those dangerous players out there. So even at 2-0, you think if they could just almost sort things out, like we said, that injury to Fermin Lopez may have been the perfect thing for Atletico Madrid, because they could gather their thoughts. They could maybe just speak to each other for more than just a panicked moment, a rushed moment. They had about 2 minutes, didn't they, where they could really just chat amongst themselves, maybe get some instructions from their manager as well, and it worked. They hurt Barcelona on the counter-attack straight away. For them now, they've got to learn from their mistakes. They've got the lead overall. Again, yes, losing on the night. They have that overall lead. They have to be more defensively solid.
Well, they've failed to progress in the 3 previous quarter-finals against Dortmund, Manchester City and Leipzig. And of course, they were in prime position to buck that trend. And things maybe just a little bit more questionable, a little bit more vulnerable now as Lamine Yamal comes forward. No foul on him as Koke steals it away. Heavy touch from him, but he finds Griezmann eventually. Great turn from the Frenchman. Pokes it back towards the edge of the area where Lenormand has it. 35 minutes on the clock, so 10 to go in normal time before the break. Griezmann again, round the corner on the left-hand side. They've beaten the press here, Atleti. And here's Ruggeri, just over halfway. Lookman wants it, points into the channel, doesn't get it. Lamine Yamal can't steal it away from Ruggeri. You just showed him too much of it, as Griezmann has it now. Switch play over towards the far right-hand side for Llorente. He's got 2 in support. Goes backwards, though, towards Koke. That allows Barca players to get back in numbers. But here's Alvarez. He's been quiet so far. Forward to Griezmann. He's a battering ram as he beats 2 challenges. Koke out towards the right-hand side. Llorente tries to go back in field to the run of Simeone, but that's overhit. It's out for a goal kick. 36 minutes on the clock. Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2. The franticness of this opening 37 minutes has been chaotic and brilliant, hasn't it? It's been absolutely one of the best games that I've covered in the Champions League in any competition, I think, for a long time.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. The Champions League as of late, it's been brilliant, hasn't it? I covered Sporting Lisbon's comeback against Bodo Glimt. It was 5-0. And as much as that might seem a little bit boring in the sense that it's just one team, in my 4 seasons of doing this, it's my favourite game I've done. That Sporting Lisbon one, and that was recent, of course, in the Champions League. This game's been outstanding. We knew it was going to be a good game. We spoke about it briefly before going live on air, that we know that this is going to be a frantic, entertaining game of football. I don't think we quite expected 3 goals, and we could have even had 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Couldn't we? We've seen some great moments.
Yeah, Johan Musso is largely to thank for that we haven't had more goals, because he's denied Barcelona players on 3 or 4 occasions. A little bit of lack of composure here from both sides as possession switches very swiftly between the 2 teams. Koke then tries to slow things down, but he's been dispossessed by Jules Koundé, and they go backwards towards their goalkeeper inside his own area. Well, Barcelona first in La Liga, of course, 9 points above second place Real Madrid. They've already qualified for next season's Champions League, but of course they will want the crown that has avoided them since 2015. Here is Pedri out towards the far side. Poor ball though, it's picked off by Molina. Forward comes Griezmann, overlapping run from Molina. He shows a burst of pace. If Griezmann can find him, he looks the other way now. Griezmann, he's got support from Lukman on the near left. He's on the edge of the area, chops it back to Griezmann, tries to get a shot away. That's immediately blocked by Garcia. That's a brilliant turn from Lamine Yamal, and here come Barcelona. Only 2 inside opposition territory against 6 defenders. Lamine Yamal slows things down. That's a cool head.
Yeah, it is. I'm not sure I agree with the slowing things down. I thought they really could have got at Atletico then. The turn was sharp. The second turn was just as sharp from him. But it's almost like Barcelona want things at a standstill. They want to regain complete control, don't they? Rather than just keep completely going gung-ho on the counter-attack and keeping that chaotic feel to the game. I get it. It's the 38th minute, isn't it? And this game's been played like we're in the final 20 minutes. It really has. It's as if both sides, it's do or die for them, which it really is at this stage of the season. It feels like their positions in La Liga are pretty set. Atletico Madrid will get Champions League football. Barcelona, 9 points clear at the top of La Liga, probably will win La Liga. So this is probably the biggest games of their season. So, Barcelona trying to regain control, ball into the penalty area from the visitors, headed away.
Yeah, it's cleared eventually by Atletico Madrid over halfway. 39 minutes played. Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2. Barca have only won 2 of their previous 5 away UEFA Champions League games. They've lost 6 of their last 9 quarter-final ties, and they've been beaten in all 6 previous knockouts when losing the first leg at home, whereas Atletico Madrid have quite the opposite record. They've never failed to progress in the Champions League after a first away win from the first leg. But they haven't had it all easy this evening at Atleti. It's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2. Diego Simeone's side lead by that 1 goal on aggregate. Elsewhere, by the way, it's been so chaotic and frantic and brilliant and exciting that we have failed to mention that there's another game in the Champions League this evening. Liverpool versus PSG. That's 0-0 in that one. The main talking point so far in the first half, Hugo Ekitike has been stretchered off. He's been replaced by Mohamed Salah. Of course, PSG coming into that with a 2-goal advantage, much like Atleti did. And if we've seen anything from this first 40 minutes or so, it's that can all count for nothing, but they are in front. Here comes Barcelona. Lopez recovered from that boot to the face, gets a 1-2 over toward that left-hand side from Cancelo. He's got it on the touchline on the left, tries to square it to the edge of the area for Dani Olmo, who goes down. Ooh. Now what's the referee going to do here? He's immediately asked Dani Olmo to get back to his feet. He does not think that's a penalty. Dani Olmo incensed, as are a number of Barcelona players. Referee waves play on as Atleti bring it forward. Barcelona have dispossessed them. I would love to see a replay of that, which I'm sure will come shortly. But here comes Lamine Yamal. Ball towards the edge of the area. Brilliant turn from Fermin Lopez. Tries to poke it through the legs of the goalkeeper, who once again is pivotal to Atletico Madrid to deny them out for a throw on the right-hand side.
Yeah, some big moments. It's Ferran Torres in on goal there, and another big save from Jan Musa. The referee's telling them to wait for the throw-in to be taken. Seeing it back again. Well, we're seeing the chance back again from Torres. He's just off balance a little bit. He's on the stretch to try and get there ahead of the goalkeeper. It's good goalkeeping because he flies out, doesn't he? And he makes himself big. We're seeing the challenge on Olmo again. I don't know. I'm not sure if there's enough in it for me. He's not going to get the penalty. I think I'm in agreement.
Yeah, I think it's soft as well. 42 minutes gone. Atleti 1, Barca 2. This frantic game continues at high pace, high energy, and swinging in momentum. 64% possession for Barca, 6 shots to Atleti's 5. All 6 of those, by the way, on target. You rarely see that. But Barcelona, known this season and across the last few years for their attacking impetus. Hansi Flick has them playing at high energy, an attacking style of football. Here's Ferran Torres, drops it back to Olmo on the right. Yamal to Koundé behind him. Essentially now for the captain, Pedri tries to move away from Llorente, ends up hitting Gavi with his pass. It does fall though for Lamine Yamal on the right hand side. Ball across the face of goal, it's cleared away, and it's eventually sent from danger from this left hand side. But that was a half chance if someone in a Barcelona shirt could have got on the end of it. Ball forward towards halfway, nodded down for Lookman, who eventually brings it under control, under pressure from 3, then goes down, and that will be a free kick. And you can understand why Dani Olmo is frustrated. He's the man that's fouled him. It's a very similar foul to the one that he didn't just get inside the penalty area.
Yeah, seemed a little bit soft, that one. We just saw that ball from Lamine Yamal as well. That's where you do want Lewandowski in the starting lineup, isn't it? Because that's the perfect ball for a striker like the Polish number 9. It really, really is. But yeah, a little bit of frustration growing into Barcelona's game at the moment. And they will be frustrated because they put in almost a perfect 35 minutes, didn't they? Well, it was 30 minutes because Lookman got the goal in the 31st. And then just a counter-attack has undone all their good work, really. So yeah, they're starting to look that little bit more desperate at the end of this half, wanting to end the half with a bang in that sense. But yeah, I'm not sure really what the opinions of Hansi Flick and Simeone. It's going to be quite contrasted, aren't they, in a sense that they're going to be happy with certain things and really frustrated with others.
I think the only thing that they'll share from this first half is high stress levels, to be quite honest. Here comes Koundé down the right hand side, gets a lovely back-heeled ball from Lamine Yamal, then to Olmo, then Gavi, then centrally for Ferran Torres, swept out towards the far side where Cancelo picks it up from Lopez. He just slows things down, Cancelo. He's got Llorente to beat, tries to poke it through his legs to a teammate, coming together, and away comes the ball at the feet of Cancelo. He knocks it off Llorente though, and out for a Barcelona corner. Well, we're into the final minute of the 45. We'll have a few added on. It's like Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2. But a chance from this set piece for Hansi Flick's side to level once again. They drew back from 2-0 down. Can they draw level once more? Ball into the area from Fermin. High lofted towards the back post. It's overhit and it's out of play at the other end for a goal kick.
Yeah, that's such a poor corner, isn't it, from Fermin Lopez? I think he's struggled the most out of the front four so far for Barcelona. He's been involved in a few key moments, but yeah, he missed that header, which was a great opportunity, and then he's had a few loose passes, and Simeone will be glad to see that one evade everybody, and he'll want his side to just kill a little bit of time to end off this half.
Atletico Madrid without a defeat at home in a UEFA Champions League knockout game since 1997, as Kieran mentioned, 20 games unbeaten in the context of this particular tie. Here is Alvarez, drops it back to Ruggeri. And the former has been quiet in the opening 45 minutes. That's because it's been mostly Barcelona in possession. The fourth official has indicated a minimum of 4 minutes added on at the end of this first half. Barcelona will start those 4 minutes in possession out towards that left-hand side. Now here's Gavi to Eric Garcia out towards the left-hand side for Cancelo, then into the channel for the run of Fermin Lopez, who's trying to get in behind there, overrun it. I think he thinks that there's a touch been had because he opted not to swing the ball in when seemingly he could have got there, Kieran, so he was adamant, Fermin Lopez, that had taken a touch for a corner. The referee disagrees.
Yeah, and João Cancelo got to be a little bit careful there. It came off the toe of Simeone and quite clearly went out for a corner. I mean, that's 2 corners that we've seen that are quite obvious not being given in this one.
Well, referees are told, I mean, at least in England, I think they're probably still told, that you can tell so much from the reaction of the players. There was no reason whatsoever for Fermin Lopez not to keep the ball in possession in that situation. So he was adamant that he'd taken the touch. Why else would he just not make contact with the ball and keep it in play? That should have been a telling sign for the referee. But Clement Turpin, he's missed a couple of those already. Here come Atleti down the left-hand side for Lookman, who can't get past Jules Koundé. It's out for a throw on the left-hand side. 2 minutes gone of the 4 added on. Atleti 1, Barca 2. 3-2 to the hosts on aggregate. Alvarez, sweeping, bouncing ball out towards that far side. Griezmann to Llorente. Strong challenge from Gavi, but fair. Pedri loses possession. It's won back by Koke. Llorente. Now Molina. Right-hand side, Simeone tries to find Griezmann on the edge of the area. It bobbles through to Lookman on the left-hand side. What can he do? Shots blocked by Koundé. Potentially still alive for Atleti. A challenge comes in from Simeone. Referee doesn't like it, and it will be a free kick. Well, Barcelona will feel that is justice, as they've finally got a decision go their way as they try and bring the ball forward quickly. Here's Pedri towards halfway. There's a run there from Ferran Torres, uses Lamine Yamal instead. Lookman coming back to double up on the youngster who slips in possession but manages to keep the ball. Centrally now for Pedri. Pedri to Olmo, and the pace once again slowed by Barcelona. Out towards the far left-hand side. Olmo from Lopez, back to Pedri. Pedri into the feet of Olmo once more, round the corner. Foul potentially, referee says no, and Molina wins it back. Here's Griezmann. Atleti looking to get out. That's a dangerous ball potentially from Griezmann, but it has worked out for the hosts. Ball forward then nodded away by Jules Koundé. The energy from Atleti has certainly risen in the last few minutes.
Yeah, it certainly has. I think it has from both sides. This is starting to feel like that little bit of pinball that we saw in the opening 20 minutes again, where both sides just look so dangerous in counter-attacking positions. Atletico Madrid, when they don't have the ball, are getting really deep, trying to nullify any real space for Barcelona to attack into, which is understandable. They've got the lead overall in this one with just under 60 seconds remaining. Barcelona on the attack.
Yeah, here's Koundé on the overlap. Ball into the area from him, though, is straight into the arms of Joan Musso, who's had plenty to do in the opening 45 minutes. It's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2. And Atleti lead by 3-2 on aggregate. Ball forward from Musa, looking for Alvarez. Header won though by Garcia. Griezmann underneath it. Poor touch from him. It's taken off his toes by Pedri. Pedri towards halfway for Fermin Lopez, who of course had that nasty collision with Musa, but has been okay to play on and looks pretty comfortable out there. Ball forward though from Lamine Yamal, in behind for Ferran Torres, who can't bring it under control. It's won back by Llorente. Then there's a foul on Torres, and we're just about to hit the 4 added on, but this is a really good position for a Barcelona free kick.
Yeah, it is. Well, one of the big talking points from the first leg was a free kick, wasn't it? And it was Julian Alvarez who hit an absolute rocket into the top corner. He's not been as involved in this game, has he? Alvarez so far. He had slight bright moments in the opening 10-15 minutes, but since then, I think we've really said his name. It's a silly challenge from Llorente, one that he doesn't have to make. Torres going nowhere, back to goal, quite far out. Hansi Flick almost celebrates winning that free kick, as if they've maybe just scored a goal themselves. I mean, you never know. The usual free kick taker not on the pitch in Marcus Rashford. Is it a moment where Yamal could really step up, or really Ferran Torres as well? I'm not sure if it suits the right or the left boot more, but it does look like it is Ferran Torres eyeing it up.
Yeah, Marcus Rashford hit one from a similar distance in that first leg, which was saved onto the bar by the Atleti goalkeeper. It's a 5-man wall, including Koke, who's the draft excluder. And they're just shuffling to their left under instruction from Musso. It's a really good position, this, for a right-footed free-kick taker, which Ferran Torres is. It's about 10 yards outside the edge of the box. It's almost exactly central, just left of centre.
Big run-up as well. Big
run-up indeed. It's going to be 3 or 4 steps for the Spaniard. And up he steps. Ferran Torres hits it, but he hits it over the bar, over the wall, over the bar, and out of play for a goal kick. But that goal kick won't come because the referee has blown his whistle to end a scintillating opening 45 minutes at the Estadio Metropolitano. Barcelona got one back after 4 minutes. They doubled their lead on the night through Ferran Torres after Lamine Yamal's opener. But Atletico Madrid managed to draw one back and went back in front on aggregate through Ademola Lookman just after the half-hour mark. It's half-time. Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2. Atleti lead by 3-2 on aggregate.
Half-time at the Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. The perfect start for the visitors. They needed an early goal and they got it through. Who else other than Lamine Yamal? Mistake in the back from Longley. Yamal was one-on-one, slotted it underneath the goalkeeper. Exactly 20 minutes later, Ferran Torres with a lovely finish, rifled it into the far top corner to make it 2-2 on aggregate. But straight after that, Ademola Lookman with a nice left-footed finish to make it 2-1 on the night. It is game on. Half-time at the Metropolitano, it's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. The perfect start for the visitors. They needed an early goal and they got it through. Who else other than Lamine Yamal? Mistake in the back from Longley. Yamal was one-on-one, slotted it underneath the goalkeeper. Exactly 20 minutes later, Ferran Torres with a lovely finish, rifled it into the far top corner to make it 2-2 on aggregate, but straight after that, Adamo Luckman with a nice left-footed finish to make it 2-1 on the night. It is game on. Half-time at the Metropolitano, it's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. The perfect start for the visitors. They needed an early goal and they got it through. Who else other than Lamine Yamal? Mistake in the back from Longley. Yamal was one-on-one, slotted it underneath the goalkeeper. Exactly 20 minutes later, Ferran Torres with a lovely finish, rifled it into the far top corner to make it 2-2 on aggregate, but straight after that, Adamo Luckman with a nice left-footed finish to make it 2-1 on the night. It is game on. Half-time at the Metropolitano, it's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. The perfect start for the visitors. They needed an early goal and they got it through. Who else other than Lamine Yamal? Mistake in the back from Longley. Yamal was one-on-one, slotted it underneath the goalkeeper. Exactly 20 minutes later, Ferran Torres with a lovely finish, rifled it into the far top corner to make it 2-2 on aggregate, but straight after that, Adamo Luckman with a nice left-footed finish to make it 2-1 on the night. It is game on. Half-time at the Metropolitano, it's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. The perfect start for the visitors. They needed an early goal and they got it through. Who else other than Lamine Yamal? Mistake in the back from Longley. Yamal was one-on-one, slotted it underneath the goalkeeper. Exactly 20 minutes later, Ferran Torres with a lovely finish, rifled it into the far top corner to make it 2-2 on aggregate, but straight after that, Adamo Luckman with a nice left-footed finish to make it 2-1 on the night. It is game on. Half-time at the Metropolitano, it's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. The perfect start for the visitors. They needed an early goal and they got it through. Who else other than Lamine Yamal? Mistake in the back from Longley. Yamal was one-on-one, slotted it underneath the goalkeeper. Exactly 20 minutes later, Ferran Torres with a lovely finish, rifled it into the far top corner to make it 2-2 on aggregate, but straight after that, Adamo Luckman with a nice left-footed finish to make it 2-1 on the night. It is game on. Half-time at the Metropolitano, it's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. The perfect start for the visitors. They needed an early goal and they got it through. Who else other than Lamine Yamal? Mistake in the back from Longley. Yamal was one-on-one, slotted it underneath the goalkeeper. Exactly 20 minutes later, Ferran Torres with a lovely finish, rifled it into the far top corner to make it 2-2 on aggregate, but straight after that, Adamo Luckman with a nice left-footed finish to make it 2-1 on the night. It is game on. Half-time at the Metropolitano, it's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. The perfect start for the visitors. They needed an early goal and they got it through. Who else other than Lamine Yamal? Mistake in the back from Longley. Yamal was one-on-one, slotted it underneath the goalkeeper. Exactly 20 minutes later, Ferran Torres with a lovely finish, rifled it into the far top corner to make it 2-2 on aggregate, but straight after that, Adamo Luckman with a nice left-footed finish to make it 2-1 on the night. It is game on. Half-time at the Metropolitano, it's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. The perfect start for the visitors. They needed an early goal and they got it through. Who else other than Lamine Yamal? Mistake in the back from Longley. Yamal was one-on-one, slotted it underneath the goalkeeper. Exactly 20 minutes later, Ferran Torres with a lovely finish, rifled it into the far top corner to make it 2-2 on aggregate, but straight after that, Adamo Luckman with a nice left-footed finish to make it 2-1 on the night. It is game on. Half-time at the Metropolitano, it's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. The perfect start for the visitors. They needed an early goal and they got it through. Who else other than Lamine Yamal? Mistake in the back from Longley. Yamal was one-on-one, slotted it underneath the goalkeeper. Exactly 20 minutes later, Ferran Torres with a lovely finish, rifled it into the far top corner to make it 2-2 on aggregate, but straight after that, Adamo Luckman with a nice left-footed finish to make it 2-1 on the night. It is game on. Half-time at the Metropolitano, it's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. The perfect start for the visitors. They needed an early goal and they got it through. Who else other than Lamine Yamal? Mistake in the back from Longley. Yamal was one-on-one, slotted it underneath the goalkeeper. Exactly 20 minutes later, Ferran Torres with a lovely finish, rifled it into the far top corner to make it 2-2 on aggregate, but straight after that, Adamo Luckman with a nice left-footed finish to make it 2-1 on the night. It is game on. Half-time at the Metropolitano, it's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. The perfect start for the visitors. They needed an early goal and they got it through. Who else other than Lamine Yamal? Mistake in the back from Longley. Yamal was one-on-one, slotted it underneath the goalkeeper. Exactly 20 minutes later, Ferran Torres with a lovely finish, rifled it into the far top corner to make it 2-2 on aggregate, but straight after that, Adamo Luckman with a nice left-footed finish to make it 2-1 on the night. It is game on. Half-time at the Metropolitano, it's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. The perfect start for the visitors. They needed an early goal and they got it through. Who else other than Lamine Yamal? Mistake in the back from Longley. Yamal was one-on-one, slotted it underneath the goalkeeper. Exactly 20 minutes later, Ferran Torres with a lovely finish, rifled it into the far top corner to make it 2-2 on aggregate, but straight after that, Adamo Luckman with a nice left-footed finish to make it 2-1 on the night. It is game on. Half-time at the Metropolitano, it's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. The perfect start for the visitors. They needed an early goal and they got it through. Who else other than Lamine Yamal? Mistake in the back from Longley. Yamal was one-on-one, slotted it underneath the goalkeeper. Exactly 20 minutes later, Ferran Torres with a lovely finish, rifled it into the far top corner to make it 2-2 on aggregate, but straight after that, Adamo Luckman with a nice left-footed finish to make it 2-1 on the night. It is game on. Half-time at the Metropolitano, it's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. The perfect start for the visitors. They needed an early goal and they got it through. Who else other than Lamine Yamal? Mistake in the back from Longley. Yamal was one-on-one, slotted it underneath the goalkeeper. Exactly 20 minutes later, Ferran Torres with a lovely finish, rifled it into the far top corner to make it 2-2 on aggregate, but straight after that, Adamo Luckman with a nice left-footed finish to make it 2-1 on the night. It is game on. Half-time at the Metropolitano, it's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. The perfect start for the visitors. They needed an early goal and they got it through. Who else other than Lamine Yamal? Mistake in the back from Longley. Yamal was one-on-one, slotted it underneath the goalkeeper. Exactly 20 minutes later, Ferran Torres with a lovely finish, rifled it into the far top corner to make it 2-2 on aggregate, but straight after that, Adamo Luckman with a nice left-footed finish to make it 2-1 on the night. It is game on. Half-time at the Metropolitano, it's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. The perfect start for the visitors. They needed an early goal and they got it through. Who else other than Lamine Yamal? Mistake in the back from Longley. Yamal was one-on-one, slotted it underneath the goalkeeper. Exactly 20 minutes later, Ferran Torres with a lovely finish, rifled it into the far top corner to make it 2-2 on aggregate, but straight after that, Adamo Luckman with a nice left-footed finish to make it 2-1 on the night. It is game on. Half-time at the Metropolitano, it's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. The perfect start for the visitors. They needed an early goal and they got it through. Who else other than Lamine Yamal? Mistake in the back from Longley. Yamal was one-on-one, slotted it underneath the goalkeeper. Exactly 20 minutes later, Ferran Torres with a lovely finish, rifled it into the far top corner to make it 2-2 on aggregate, but straight after that, Adamo Luckman with a nice left-footed finish to make it 2-1 on the night. It is game on. Half-time at the Metropolitano, it's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. The perfect start for the visitors. They needed an early goal and they got it through. Who else other than Lamine Yamal? Mistake in the back from Longley. Yamal was one-on-one, slotted it underneath the goalkeeper. Exactly 20 minutes later, Ferran Torres with a lovely finish, rifled it into the far top corner to make it 2-2 on aggregate, but straight after that, Adamo Luckman with a nice left-footed finish to make it 2-1 on the night. It is game on. Half-time at the Metropolitano, it's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. The perfect start for the visitors. They needed an early goal and they got it through. Who else other than Lamine Yamal? Mistake in the back from Longley. Yamal was one-on-one, slotted it underneath the goalkeeper. Exactly 20 minutes later, Ferran Torres with a lovely finish, rifled it into the far top corner to make it 2-2 on aggregate, but straight after that, Adamo Luckman with a nice left-footed finish to make it 2-1 on the night. It is game on. Half-time at the Metropolitano, it's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. The perfect start for the visitors. They needed an early goal and they got it through. Who else other than Lamine Yamal? Mistake in the back from Longley. Yamal was one-on-one, slotted it underneath the goalkeeper. Exactly 20 minutes later, Ferran Torres with a lovely finish, rifled it into the far top corner to make it 2-2 on aggregate, but straight after that, Adamo Luckman with a nice left-footed finish to make it 2-1 on the night. It is game on. Half-time at the Metropolitano, it's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. The perfect start for the visitors. They needed an early goal and they got it through who else other than Lamine Yamal. Mistake in the back from Longley. Yamal was one-on-one, slotted it underneath the goalkeeper. Exactly 20 minutes later, Ferran Torres with a lovely finish, rifled it into the far top corner to make it 2-2 on aggregate, but straight after that, Adamo Luckman with a nice left-footed finish to make it 2-1 on the night. It is game on. Half-time at the Metropolitano, it's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. The perfect start for the visitors. They needed an early goal and they got it through who else other than Lamine Yamal. Mistake in the back from Longley. Yamal was one-on-one, slotted it underneath the goalkeeper. Exactly 20 minutes later, Ferran Torres with a lovely finish, rifled it into the far top corner to make it 2-2 on aggregate, but straight after that, Adamo Luckman with a nice left-footed finish to make it 2-1 on the night. It is game on. Half-time at the Metropolitano, it's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. The perfect start for the visitors. They needed an early goal and they got it through who else other than Lamine Yamal. Mistake in the back from Longley. Yamal was one-on-one, slotted it underneath the goalkeeper. Exactly 20 minutes later, Ferran Torres with a lovely finish, rifled it into the far top corner to make it 2-2 on aggregate, but straight after that, Adamo Luckman with a nice left-footed finish to make it 2-1 on the night. It is game on. Half-time at the Metropolitano, it's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. The perfect start for the visitors. They needed an early goal and they got it through who else other than Lamine Yamal. Mistake in the back from Longley. Yamal was one-on-one, slotted it underneath the goalkeeper. Exactly 20 minutes later, Ferran Torres with a lovely finish, rifled it into the far top corner to make it 2-2 on aggregate, but straight after that, Adamo Luckman with a nice left-footed finish to make it 2-1 on the night. It is game on. Half-time at the Metropolitano, it's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. The perfect start for the visitors. They needed an early goal and they got it through who else other than Lamine Yamal. Mistake in the back from Longley. Yamal was one-on-one, slotted it underneath the goalkeeper. Exactly 20 minutes later, Ferran Torres with a lovely finish, rifled it into the far top corner to make it 2-2 on aggregate, but straight after that, Adamo Luckman with a nice left-footed finish to make it 2-1 on the night. It is game on. Half-time at the Metropolitano, it's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. The perfect start for the visitors. They needed an early goal and they got it through who else other than Lamine Yamal. Mistake in the back from Longley. Yamal was one-on-one, slotted it underneath the goalkeeper. Exactly 20 minutes later, Ferran Torres with a lovely finish, rifled it into the far top corner to make it 2-2 on aggregate, but straight after that, Adamo Luckman with a nice left-footed finish to make it 2-1 on the night. It is game on. Half-time at the Metropolitano, it's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. The perfect start for the visitors. They needed an early goal and they got it through who else other than Lamine Yamal. Mistake in the back from Longley. Yamal was one-on-one, slotted it underneath the goalkeeper. Exactly 20 minutes later, Ferran Torres with a lovely finish, rifled it into the far top corner to make it 2-2 on aggregate, but straight after that, Adamo Luckman with a nice left-footed finish to make it 2-1 on the night. It is game on. Half-time at the Metropolitano, it's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. The perfect start for the visitors. They needed an early goal and they got it through who else other than Lamine Yamal. Mistake in the back from Longley. Yamal was one-on-one, slotted it underneath the goalkeeper. Exactly 20 minutes later, Ferran Torres with a lovely finish, rifled it into the far top corner to make it 2-2 on aggregate, but straight after that, Adamo Luckman with a nice left-footed finish to make it 2-1 on the night. It is game on. Half-time at the Metropolitano, it's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. The perfect start for the visitors. They needed an early goal and they got it through who else other than Lamine Yamal. Mistake in the back from Longley. Yamal was one-on-one, slotted it underneath the goalkeeper. Exactly 20 minutes later, Ferran Torres with a lovely finish, rifled it into the far top corner to make it 2-2 on aggregate, but straight after that, Adamo Luckman with a nice left-footed finish to make it 2-1 on the night. It is game on. Half-time at the Metropolitano, it's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. The perfect start for the visitors. They needed an early goal and they got it through who else other than Lamine Yamal. Mistake in the back from Longley. Yamal was one-on-one, slotted it underneath the goalkeeper. Exactly 20 minutes later, Ferran Torres with a lovely finish, rifled it into the far top corner to make it 2-2 on aggregate, but straight after that, Adamo Luckman with a nice left-footed finish to make it 2-1 on the night. It is game on. Half-time at the Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. The perfect start for the visitors. They needed an early goal and they got it through. Who else other than Lamine Yamal? Mistake in the back from Longley. Yamal was one-on-one, slotted it underneath the goalkeeper. Exactly 20 minutes later, Ferran Torres with a lovely finish, rifled it into the far top corner to make it 2-2 on aggregate. But straight after that, Adamo Lukman with a nice left-footed finish to make it 2-1 on the night. It is game on. Half-time at the Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. The perfect start for the visitors. They needed an early goal and they got it through. Who else other than Lamine Yamal? Mistake in the back from Longley. Yamal was one-on-one, slotted it underneath the goalkeeper. Exactly 20 minutes later, Ferran Torres with a lovely finish, rifled it into the far top corner to make it 2-2 on aggregate. But straight after that, Adamo Lukman with a nice left-footed finish to make it 2-1 on the night. It is game on. And we will leave that just there because we're about to get back underway at the Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid who kick us off for this second half. Well, it was good for myself and Tom to get 15 minutes at half-time to catch our breath back because we didn't really have a breather in that first half. It was such a good half of football, end-to-end, a load of action. Me having 30 seconds to squeeze it all in didn't really do it justice. At half-time, a lot of talking points. Well, it was Lamine Yamal who got us underway in the opening 4 minutes. We kind of knew Barcelona needed a good first half. Well, they definitely had that, but they had the quickest of starts. Getting that goal in the opening 4 minutes, mistake at the back from Longley allowed Lamine Yamal to go in on goal, and he just slotted it through the legs of the goalkeeper like there was no pressure on the young man's shoulders at all, and he plays like that. No matter what, Lamine Yamal. And then they made it 2-0, 24 minutes on the clock. Dani Olmo found Ferran Torres, who rifled it into the far top corner. You felt like it was just going to be one-way traffic from that moment onwards, but Atletico Madrid with a big moment against the runner player to find a goal to make it 3-2 as Lamine Yamal cuts inside and hits a shot from distance as well. Blocked away, and Antoine Griezmann completely slices his pass. He's been a bit on and off in that first half and throughout this game, hasn't he, Antoine Griezmann? But like I said, it was Lukman to pull the goal back on the night and put them back in the lead on aggregate. Still myself, Kieran Graham, alongside Tom Wilson. 2-1 to Barcelona on the night, 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. And Tom, fingers crossed, we get more of the same in this half.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. I don't think the goals are done just yet. You could make a case for either side going on to win this, couldn't you? You can see how Barcelona had the momentum, but then because that momentum's been halted ever so slightly by Atleti, that maybe it swung the other way and maybe they'll be able to hang on, if not increase their lead again. But then you could also make the case that Barcelona were so expansive, and that goal against them came against the run of play. They deserved to get maybe 2, 3, maybe even 4 goals in that first half, but for Muso's interventions. So you could definitely argue, if you're an Atleti fan, if you're a Barca fan, or if you're just neutral, you could make a case for either side.
Yeah, you really could. As we now see Cancelo coming forwards, he plays it into the middle, and then he clips his man Koke with a really late challenge. I thought he was fortunate not to get booked in the first half. Cancelo got right in the face of the referee when he disagreed with one of the corner decisions that Barcelona didn't get. We've just seen that challenge there completely oversteps the mark. And very late on the challenge onto Koke, just clips him to the ground, and that's going to go for a free kick now as the Atletico players are sent to warm up. Long ball up towards the Lukman, headed away. You think we're probably going to see some powerhouse number 9s called upon for both sides at some point in the second half in Soloth and Lewandowski. Balling behind, looking towards Ferran Torres, well defended by Lenormand, who I think really the only defender for Atletico who can cover himself in any glory in that first half. I think Lenormand's had some vital moments. Balling to Lukman, he played it back. I don't think he needed to play that all the way back to Antoine Griezmann. Ball down the line, the referee stops play. It's a big call as well. I think it's a head injury potentially, and then if it's not a head injury, then it is a big call because Atletico Madrid were almost away. Yeah,
he's been at the source of quite a lot of controversy in this game, the referee, already. There was maybe 3 occasions where Barcelona thought that they should have got the call, or the referee shouldn't have given a free kick, and he went against them. So you can understand the away fans will be a little bit frustrated. We've just seen a replay now of this latest one. Well, it's not a head injury because he doesn't land on his head. He does actually very well to avoid landing on his head. Is it Eric Garcia, I think, that's down?
Yep.
He sort of does a little topple over the top of Griezmann, lands on his back, which I'm sure he's hurting him. But yeah, I thought he could have played on there, and I think Marcus Llorente would have been away down that right-hand side. So you can understand the frustration from the hosts.
Yeah, definitely could have played on, I thought, down the right-hand side. Eric Garcia now back to his feet in the end, so he will be okay to continue. Atletico Madrid coming off the back of a 2-1 loss to Sevilla at the weekend, and a lot was to be made of their starting lineup. They started a lot of academy players and had a lot in their squad. He rested a whole host of players for tonight. It's quite clear the focus that is on tonight's game rather than the league. They're pretty comfortable in the top 4 at the moment, and you can see that with their starting lineup against Sevilla, and they got punished for it. One of the academy players did score their only goal in that game as well. As you say, a really poor ball. I was just praising Robin Lenormand. He's just passed a very simple pass over the head of his fullback and out for a corner, out for a throw-in, should I say. 5 minutes into this half, I wouldn't really say it started with the same intensity or drama that it did in the first, but we now see Yamal in possession. He fizzes a ball towards the centre that evades Ferran Torres. Is it going to go out for a goal kick? It is, and I wouldn't say either side have really got going yet.
No, I think if you'd have said at half-time, if you're able to look into the future and say 5 minutes into the second half that the game's going to be at a little bit of a slower pace and it's going to be a little bit more balanced, I'd have thought that was because Atletico Madrid would have come out and dominated possession, and then when they're not in possession they would have sat behind the ball. It hasn't really been like that at all. It's actually been very similar to the first 45 minutes in the sense that Barca have had a lot of it. They obviously just don't look as dangerous and as intense going forward as they did in that first 45 minutes. But they're seeing a lot of the ball. It was a high energy, probably energy zapping first 45 minutes for both sets of players. You can understand if there's a little bit of a dip, but I'm sure there's going to be at least another goal or two in this.
Yeah, there should be, shouldn't there? As you see, Pedri goes across towards Eric Garcia. He then finds Gavi, who plays it to the left-hand side for Pedri. We've seen a lot of Pedri in that first half, just dictating possession, recycling things. As we now see Cancelo across towards Pedri once again. Well, the other game in the Champions League, we've not really spoke about it so far. That's because nothing's happened. We've definitely hit the jackpot so far, haven't we? 0-0 between Liverpool and PSG.
Yeah, it sounds like it's been a good game, just not had the quality in front of goal potentially that we have. Very lucky us.
Yeah, as you now see Cancelo goes all the way back to Gerard Martin, who finds Eric Garcia. 51 minutes on the clock. Koundé down to the right-hand side for Yamal. Beats his man, still going into the penalty area. Now it's going to be Olmo. Ball into the box is cleared away and out for a throw. Well, just got to keep getting Yamal involved. Yeah. He's bemused by the decision to not get a free kick moments ago, but they've just got to keep finding him.
Yeah, I mean, he started the game really well. I think to Atleti's credit, since maybe like the 15th minute or so, they've doubled up on him almost every single time, sometimes tripled up on him in terms of defenders. So they are certainly trying to catch him out.
Oh, and it ricochets for Alvarez, who could be racing through on goal. He's got a lot of players trying to catch him, but he's too quick. He finds his way into the penalty area. Then he plays it into Lookman. He cuts inside, goes for goal. He's put it wide. What an effort from him in the end. He's claiming there was a touch. Julian Alvarez got really quiet in the first half, didn't we? We mentioned that we'd not said his name for a long time. It was a great run from him. It was just him with all this grass to run into, but him knowing if he checked one way, checked the other. He's got about 3 or 4 Barcelona players chasing him. He did well to turn, find the pass. Lookman cut inside. Should it have been a corner? It should have done. That's on 3 occasions. Clear corners not given.
Yeah, Clement Turpin and his officials have got a number of decisions wrong this evening. On a high stage as well, on such a grand stage, quarter-final, second leg of the Champions League, they've got to be more on it. They have to be more accurate because, yes, it's only a corner. You can make that case, but they could score from that corner. That could be, another goal for Atleti. That could take it to 4-2, restore that 2-goal advantage. That could completely change the context of the game, completely change the context of the Champions League. So, yeah, it's a decision which has gone the wrong way, unfortunately for them, but rather fortunately for Barcelona, because they were caught out there, as you mentioned. Alvarez with some blitzing of his pace down that left-hand side to create it.
Yes, now see Lamine Yamal. He cuts away, finds Ferran Torres. Back to Yamal once again. Now it's going to be Eric Garcia. Turns away from his man. Finds it for Yamal once more. He touches it away. He's now driving to the left-hand side. Clips the ball into the penalty area. Looking towards Olmo, but well defended. In the end, as we now see Ruggieri comes away from it. He's going to play it all the way back to his defence. Now it's going to be a clearance that goes long up towards Ademola Lookman. He touches it down for Eric Garcia. Now it's going to be Dani Olmo, who plays it all the way back for João Cancelo. Barcelona once again just trying to regain a little bit of control in this one. As We now see the ball with Eric Garcia. He plays it to the right-hand side. Nice ball for Lamine Yamal again, who's up against Ruggieri. Cuts inside. Lovely play from him. Nice ball down the right as well for Koundé, who gets there across the face. Goal touch from Musso. Takes it out of the penalty area. Attack still live, though. Cancelo onto his weaker left boot. He chips it towards the back post. Yamal clips it back, looking for Ferran Torres, who gets there. Big save from the goalkeeper. Ferran Torres goes down under the challenge. Nothing given. Bit of a scramble. It doesn't stick to Lamine Yamal. Another big save from Musso, though, as we now see Gerard Martin in possession. He turns away from his man and finds João Cancelo. Nice play from him, cuts inside. Lovely layoff for Dani Olmo, opens it up. He finds it into the penalty area for Gavi with a strike. It's blocked for Ferran Torres, who rifles it into the top corner, and Barcelona are at it again, and Ferran Torres is at it again, and they just can't be counted out of this one. It's now 3-1 on the night, 3-3 on aggregate. What a game of football this is.
Oh, you could just feel it coming. Atleti just couldn't clear their lines. They had 2 or 3 occasions to do so, and they could not get rid of the ball. Barcelona continued to pile on the pressure. Efforts in at goal. There were shots blocked. There were saves made. Defending wasn't at its highest there from Atletico Madrid, and that's not the first time we've said that in this game either. But take nothing away from this finish from Ferran Torres. Don't let the scrappiness of the build-up take away from an excellent effort towards the top corner. But is he onside?
Oh, he's not, is he? Ferran Torres isn't onside. We're just seeing it back now. Well, he didn't look it on the first angle. Just seeing Gavi went for it. It's a great block, wasn't it, from Clement Lenglet going across. It was slightly fortunate that it fell to Ferran Torres from a Barcelona point of view. He wasn't even looking initially. It's a great finish first time, though, isn't he? He just almost passes it into the far top corner. What a finish it is. I'd be shocked if the goal stands. Yeah,
it could not be more top corner, could it, than where Ferran Torres has put it. You're absolutely right. Unless the angle deceives us, I'm almost 100% sure that this is offside.
Yeah, it definitely looked offside, but they're still checking it at the moment. VAR, the VAR team, Clement Turpin's just almost stood looking fed up about all the players surrounding him, asking him questions. But I think Simeone is of an opinion that it is offside, because he's kind of trying to rally the troops up again.
Yeah, I don't know how he wears a suit and he does this in Spanish weather. He must be absolutely baked in sweat underneath there. Like he's not stopped moving, Simeone. His arms up in the air, shouting, screaming. Very passionate.
Yeah, and the referee makes the signal, and it is offside. He made that very clear with his language, and I don't really know how the Barcelona players can complain. You're either offside or you're not. Eric Garcia's raging. How can you be raging? He is offside. What is there to complain about? I don't really get it.
It's interesting. Obviously, they feel a few decisions went against them in the first half, and maybe they feel maybe there's a bit of an agenda from Clement Turpin. But as you say, offside is offside. Yeah, he's offside.
Yeah, he's so offside. He's taking nothing away from the finish. I tell you what, that's going to maybe get them going again, though, isn't it? Barcelona, in the sense that the fact it's being ruled out, they'll be frustrated. It'll anger them, but they'll keep going. They're going to use that to their benefit. You feel Ferran Torres with a flick on. He's landed really poorly. Fermin Lopez almost gets there. That should be an Atletico throw-in. I believe it's been given their way as well, but Ferran Torres just clattered a little bit by Clement Lenglet, who has had a weird game, hasn't he? Not a great one.
Not covered himself in glory, has he? Clement Lenglet. He gave the ball away for the opening goal after 4 minutes, and he's actually really struggled. I mean, you mentioned before to me off air, Lewandowski up against these two centre-halves, you'd think he would have a bit of a field day, such as his experience, his physical prowess. I know Lenormand's a big guy, and Clement is as well, but I just think he's a better player, he's more experienced, he could certainly cause him a problem, but a different problem has been caused by Dani Olmo and by Ferran Torres, by moving away from that front line, drawing the two centre-halves out. Clement Lenglet has really struggled this evening.
Yes, you now see Olmo, who plays it to the right-hand side. Simeone picks it up. He's now driving forwards. He's got a ball in behind. Really poor ball from Simeone. Good opportunity on the counter there for Atletico Madrid to really try and kill this game off, as Alvarez tries to stop Lamine Yamal in his tracks, who's still going, Yamal, and they just can't stop him, can they? Yamal now touches it to the right-hand side, still going. He's bundled to the ground. Atletico win the throw-in, do they? They're going to absolutely love that at the crowd, but they were really struggling to stop him, though.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest compliments you can give to Lamine Yamal is he looks very similar to how Lionel Messi did when he played for Barcelona. Once he got the ball and you knew he was going to go on a run, no one in a Barcelona shirt came anywhere near him, because they just trusted him so much to just draw that ball forward and drive into the opposition territory. It's very similar when Lamine Yamal gets it. The players almost just stand off and just say, okay, we'll get into position, but we know we don't need to be there for a pass.
Yeah, exactly that. As we now see the ball with Gerard Martin across to Eric Garcia. Now it's going to be Koundé, finds Lamine Yamal, turns away from his man. Koundé again, who is driving central for Gerard Martin. And it is going to be Martin across for Cancelo as we approach the hour mark in this game. Plenty of talking points. Griezmann almost clips the legs of Martin once more, but doesn't. We now see Cancelo on this left-hand side, looks to cut inside. It's well intercepted by Molina. Alvarez under pressure from Eric Garcia, who followed him up the whole way, out of position. Can Simeone get there? No, he can't. Martin gets there and finds his goalkeeper really well. It's good recovery pace from Gerard Martin, needed to as well, because Eric Garcia went chasing. He almost felt like he was playing in midfield again, like he usually does for Barcelona. Pedri with a switch of play, lovely ball. Plucked out by Lamine Yamal. Nice first touch from him. Doesn't necessarily take it into his stride, so he has to slow it down. He finds Ferran Torres. I wonder how long it'll be till we see the likes of Rashford and Lewandowski in this one. Pedri now turns away onto his right boot. Finds Koundé on the right-hand side. It's now with Yamal. Plays it central for Gavi once more. And a switch of play for Barcelona. Just trying to create the space. Martin whips it in towards the back post. It's overhit. Easily taken by the goalkeeper.
One thing that's standing out to me in the 15 minutes we've had in this second half is Simeone's defending. I said he was going to be vital for Atletico Madrid. I meant that in an attacking sense. Defensively, I think he's been a bit of a liability in the second half. That's 3 occasions now where Cancelo has pretty easily just done a couple of step overs, gone down the line past him, and Simeone hasn't really put up much of a fight. I think that's certainly something that Hansi Flick will have noticed as well. He's just won the ball off him again.
Yes, we now see them on the left-hand side. It's going to be João Cancelo driving forwards. It's well recovered by Llorente, who loses flight of the ball. Then he gets quite fortunate that it drops for him once again. Llorente plays it forwards. Poor ball from him. It's starting to get scrappy again, isn't it? And a little bit end-to-end as Olmo hits it from distance. It takes a deflection out for a corner.
Yeah, it's really good from Olmo. It's an ambitious effort from that sort of distance, but you know, a shot at that range is probably going to be blocked, and it's gone out for a corner on the far side. And of course, no Lewandowski, who would be a real threat from this sort of situation.
Yes, we now see this corner ready to be taken once again. It's going to be the outswinging delivery from Dani Olmo once more. Well, it was going to be. He then is ushered away by his teammate for somebody else to take it. He stays for the short option. He picks up the short ball as well as they go short from it. Now it's going to be Yamal on the right-hand side. Bit of space. He whips it into a really dangerous area once again. Nobody attacking it. Bit of a shove in the back of Yamal. Nothing given. Was risky from Lookman, but what a touch that is from Yamal. He overruns it in the end. Puts it out of play. You see the Atletico Madrid fans loving that. The first touch, or the couple of touches from Yamal were fantastic initially, but the last touch is a pole.
Yeah, I thought that was really risky from Ademola Lookman as it drops. He just gives a little push in the back of Lamine Yamal, who doesn't go down. If he did, that would have been a real question to ask of Clement Turpin and his VAR as well. As you mentioned, that first touch is absolutely brilliant. Just glides it away from Simeone. Luckily, though, for Atletico Madrid, Clement Lenglet is in the way. He would have stopped any cross that had come in, you'd feel, anyway.
Yeah, exactly. As we see Alvarez on this left-hand side. Nice play from him, but really good hounding work from Dani Olmo, who once again puts his foot in. Now it's going to be Pedri. Turns away from Lookman. He's bundled to the ground not once but twice. Free kick's going to go the way of Barcelona. I believe he even took his boot off in the end. Pedri just having to put his right boot back on. And now they finally get us back underway with the free kick. It's going to be Gerard Martin in possession. Still 0-0 between Liverpool and PSG. As we now just see the ball with Torres. Goes across to Olmo. Now it's going to be Pedri. Pedri in possession. Finds Gerard Martin. He's going to look towards the left. Goes central instead for Gavi. I think we're probably hitting the stage where I definitely would turn to Lewandowski and Rashford now in this one. I think they've got to add firepower to this one. Maybe even sacrifice a midfielder for it. As we now see Martin goes across to the left-hand side for Cancelo. He's got options ahead but doesn't find them. He goes all the way back to his centre-halves. Now it's going to be Eric Garcia. Koundé under a little bit of pressure. Atletico Madrid applying the squeeze, looking a lot more solid out of possession in this second half. Has to be said, Atletico than the first, but we now see Torres coming forwards. He's been clattered. The referee plays advantage. Good advantage from him initially. And then a man goes down, and Atletico Madrid were almost on the breakaway there, but it's going to be a free kick pulled back from the advantage.
Well, I was just about to say, just after you said that about the Atletico Madrid changing sort of shape and changing composure, looking a little bit more defensive, I was going to say they certainly look more put together, look more composed, and then Lenormand comes flying in and bundles into his man. It's definitely not composed from the centre half, but yeah, they do look a little bit more structured, a little bit more solid. It's been more difficult in this second half for Barcelona to A, catch them on the break, and B, break them down.
As you now see Eric Garcia, he cuts inside, finds the ball into Olmo. He's got Yamal for company, uses the youngster. He's going to drive his way into the penalty area, picks a poor pass. He's going to get it back again for a second try. Cuts inside onto his left boot. He's still going. Lamine Yamal, what a run, lays it off for Dani Olmo, opens it up. He can't find the top corner. Gets a little bit fortunate, does Yamal, in the run, but he does so well to beat a couple of those players. But Dani Olmo's finish is leaving a lot to be decided as it goes miles over the bar. I do think he's one of the players I'd make way for the two that I just suggested.
There's a vital touch in there from Llorente, because I think the ball is to the man on the edge of the area, not to Dani Olmo. Couldn't quite see who it was, but that touch from Llorente means that it falls right into the path of Olmo, who just simply can't leave it. He has to take it, and it's underneath his feet, and that's why the shot is so poor. If it does fall to the man on the edge, there's a much better opportunity to get the strike away at goal.
Yeah, surprised to see it's Atletico Madrid who almost blinked first with the subs, isn't it? It's going to be Lookman and Simeone who make way. So the two wingers in this one for Atletico, and it's for Baena and Nicolas Gonzalez. So you now see those changes made. Big moment at Anfield. Liverpool have a penalty to start and kick off a potential comeback in their game. So a big moment for them. As you now see those substitutions onto the field of play at the Metropolitano. If you are just tuning in, 66 minutes on the clock. Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2 on the night. 3-2 to Atletico Madrid on aggregate in what's been a great game. We now see the ball on the left-hand side. It's a nice play from Ruggieri. He's going to keep going. He dinks it into the penalty. A really poor delivery where we see Eric Garcia plays it to the right-hand side. Now it's going to be Yamal under a lot of pressure. It's a good challenge in, and Atletico Madrid win it back high up the pitch. Alvarez turns away from his man, finds Baena. He plays it back into the area for Alvarez, who's still on the left-hand side. Puts a great ball in for a cutback. Nobody there to tap it home. The clearance from Lopez is a poor one, intercepted again by Llorente. That'll go from Atletico throwing, and now it's the home side who are on a good bit of form.
Yeah, well, I think we knew that there was another goal in this game. It hasn't quite come yet in this second half, but we said at the start of the second half, anyone could win the game, anyone could get that next goal. And Atletico Madrid are still dangerous, the players that they've got on the pitch. Now the fresh changes as well, they can still certainly cause problems for Barca.
Yeah, I believe Liverpool's penalty has been overturned as well, so their real way back into this game, what they needed, has not counted, as we see a strike from distance from Alex Baena. His first real touches got a mile over the bar. Yeah,
it's an audacious, ambitious effort, and he's got players around him that are always going to make it difficult.
Yeah, as we see two changes coming up for Barcelona. It's the two that I mentioned, but Dani Olmo isn't going to be one to make way. It's going to be Ferran Torres and Fermin Lopez to come off for Marcus Rashford and Lewandowski. So some big changes in this one. Fermin Lopez has been heavily involved. Ferran Torres, who's had the ball in the back of the net twice today, but wasn't able to have the second one count because he was offside. The clearance from Barcelona is sloppy again. Lewandowski's first introduction, he slips the ball in behind for Marcus Llorente. He flashed it across the face of goal. I don't know if that's almost a bit of a cross or a shot from the Atletico midfielder, but he gets some real venom behind it. Goes behind for a goal kick, though.
Yeah, well, they're on top now, aren't they, the hosts? They're having a really good moment. They look likely to restore that 2-goal advantage. Llorente, it's a really difficult angle for him on that right-hand side. He's such a great player because he's just everywhere. He defensively, he'll help out going forward. He's a real energy in the midfield. I really like him. I think every team needs a player like Llorente. Yes, technically not up there, in terms of, there's another man down with blood gushing from the head here.
Yeah, exactly. Once again, and this time it's Ruggieri. A couple times that's happened so far. Well, these sides met at this stadium at the start of this month in La Liga. It finished 2-1 to Barcelona in that one as well. And the goal scorers were Rashford and Lewandowski. So let's see if potentially they can make their mark again in this one. It's the elbow of Gavi. And I mean, it's got to be quite a forceful elbow to draw that much blood to the face of Ruggieri. And I mean, once again, we're going to get a bit of a stoppage because of it.
Yeah, well, we saw a really nasty one on Fermin Lopez in the first half, didn't we? Sort of fell onto the boot of Joan Musso. He was bleeding really heavily from the nose. This one's right on the forehead. And you're absolutely right. There's some real force there on the elbow. I mean, he's not meant to do it. It's nothing malicious, Gavi. He's gone up, used his arms to generate some power, generate some height, and he's just caught him exactly where he didn't want to. Interesting to see if VAR react to this at all. Koke's making that point. Griezmann's speaking to him as well. Clement Turpin, as I say, has got a few wrong this evening, so I'll be really interested to see what he thinks of this one.
Yeah, exactly that. And there's a man stripped off ready to come on for Atletico Madrid, and it's going to be Soloth. Loves the game against Barcelona. 7 in his last 13 appearances against the Spanish side. So he does enjoy playing against his opponents, and he is ready to come on. Of course, he did score in the first leg, the second goal as well. As you see the Atletico Madrid fans in full voice once more. But with that, 70 minutes on the clock, we've reached the halfway stage of this second half. A little bit of a stoppage, but I can't imagine it's going to take too much longer to get us back underway. It remains Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2 on the night. 3-2 to Atletico on aggregate. It will be Tom to take through to full time.
Cheers, Kieran. Yeah, just waiting for the game to get back underway. Waiting to see if Gavi will be punished by the referee as well. Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2. Atleti leading by a goal on aggregate. Still 0-0 at Anfield between Liverpool and Paris Saint-Germain. And the home crowd at the Estadio Metropolitano in full voice. They didn't actually do that well in the league phase, Diego Simeone's side. It was a 14th place finish. 3 points off the automatic qualification spots. They beat Club Brugge 7-4 on aggregate, and then Spurs 7-5 on aggregate in the previous rounds. But they have been brilliant at home. 1-5, lost 1 in Europe this season. As we mentioned, they've not lost at home in a Champions League knockout since 1997. And they are behind on the night, of course, in this one. But much like when these two met in the Copa del Rey semi-final, Atletico Madrid are on their way to winning on aggregate. Gave themselves a 4-goal advantage in that one. It meant that Barcelona's 3-0 victory in the second leg was for naught. We're still paused here, by the way. 72 minutes on the clock. Still 2-1 on the night to Barcelona. Gavi's been booked. He hasn't been sent off. There's no VAR intervention. I can understand that. I think you can understand from Atletico Madrid's point of view that it's dangerous, and the blood maybe over-eggs things, does it? It sort of heightens the calls from Atletico Madrid players. But I can understand a yellow.
Yeah, I think it's a yellow card. I don't think it's a red. Gavi's a small player up against Ruggieri, who's quite considerably taller than him. He has to leap. He has to use his body and his arms to get up. Not really excusing the challenge. Ruggieri's now got a big bandage all around his head, but he might be okay to continue. He's going to have to change his shirt for obvious reasons as well, but just another moment in this game that just maybe hypes up that crowd a bit more.
We're a few seconds away, I think, from the ball being back in play. It's going to be a free kick for Atletico Madrid as Ruggieri tries and struggles to get his new fresh shirt on. 73 minutes on the clock. Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2 at the Estadio Metropolitano. Atleti with a 2-goal advantage from the first leg. Of course, Kubasi shown red for a last-man challenge on Simeone. Alvarez scored from the resulting free kick, and then Sorloth made it 2 on the 70th minute. His introduction into the game is imminent, as the ball now is back in play. Griezmann's free kick comes off a Barca man and out for a Atleti throw on the far side. Ruggieri, who's back involved now with that bandage on his head. We'll get the ball back in play. No, he leaves it actually to Julian Alvarez instead, is it, by the looks of it? No, it's not. It's Koke. in towards the area, towards the edge of the 6-yard box. The heads go up. It's going to fall inside the box. A shot comes in. Brilliant save. The follow-up away from Barcelona. What a stop that is. Still alive, though, as it's picked up on the edge of the area by Llorente. His shot's on target. Goalkeeper again behind it. He's able to quickly throw out. Rashford forward towards halfway. Stolen off his toes as Atleti win it back. Here's Koke. Out towards the right-hand side for Griezmann. What a moment that was from Joan Garcia. Then Griezmann goes down. Referee says that'll be a free kick. Very nearly restored their 2-goal advantage.
Big moment in this one. What a save from Joan Garcia. It's from close range, isn't it? It just falls perfectly for Lenormand. It felt very much, it's not a terrible finish, is it? But it felt very much a centre-half. Not really too much thought through it. Just hit it. I hope you hit the target. But he's got a lot of space on the far side that he doesn't go for. Hits it not straight at the goalkeeper. It's a great save with the right leg. But what a chance.
Yeah, I think you don't leave that there. But if he does, Koke's running onto it. He's in a much better position. His body is in a much better position to hit the ball. Free kick, though, from Griezmann into the area towards the front post. It's towards goal. It's over the bar, though. Once again, it's Lenormand. That's out for a goal, a kick. In the game at Anfield, by the way, it's seemingly game over in the tie because PSG have got a third. So they're 3-0 up on aggregate. Liverpool 0, PSG 1 on the night. PSG will be going through to the semi-final. They play the winner of the game between Bayern Munich and Real Madrid in the semis. Quarter of an hour remaining in this one. 2-1 on the night to Barcelona. 3-2 to Atleti on aggregate. That'll be a free kick, and that will allow, I think, the latest change to come. Sorloth is going to come on, grab the second in the first leg. As I mentioned, it will be Antoine Griezmann to come off. He's been brilliant. I don't think I've ever seen him have a bad game. He's just pulled the strings this evening. Yes, Barca have had more of the ball, but when Atleti have had it, he's usually been involved.
Yeah, he has. He's had up and down moments for me in this game. I thought he lost the ball quite a lot in the first half in some pretty poor areas, but we know what the kind of player he is. We know he's going to be leaving in the summer as well, so it's his last real action. He'll be hoping that it's not the last time he pulls on a Champions League Atletico shirt. But yeah, I feel like they're needing Sorloth, someone to really aim for in a tricky time in this one. As we've just seen that free kick back again, the header that went over the bar. Decent opportunity again for Atletico Madrid.
Goal kick, though, for the hosts. It will be Joan Musso, who's made some vital saves in this game. If they do go through, Atleti, they'll be certainly patting him on the back at the end of the 90 minutes. Ball forward towards Sorloth. It's over his head. Alvarez can't get there. It's eventually picked up, though, by Llorente. Poked forward by Koke out towards the right. Bit of back and forth, a little bit of tennis between the two sides as now Pedri has it. Skips past one challenge. Doesn't skip past the second as Koke wins it. Llorente in the centre circle, backwards towards Lenormand. Now Molina down the line. Fast pace this second half. Now it's certainly picked up as it's ball forward towards Sorloth, who could be in behind here. Goes down under the challenge. The referee, everyone's rushing towards him. He's given a free kick. It's a very similar challenge to the one that saw Kabasi sent off last week, but Clement Turpin doesn't have to make a decision because the flag's gone up for offside.
Yeah, he didn't notice it, did he, Clement Turpin? And he had his yellow card out. I'm not really sure what they can then really check, because it seems very similar to the Kabasi one, like you said, last week, where he just brought his man down. He looks onside to me. So that's then a case of, is it a red card? It isn't a red card, because Jules Koundé is going to cover it, or he's at least there to potentially cover it, unlike last week, which means, unfortunately, a poor decision has just really ruined what could have been a big moment for Atleti.
Yeah, it's not black and white, is it, in terms of how similar it is, or how different it is, to last week. It's almost like two shades of grey, the two decisions. This is a big moment. I mean, I've not thought that Clement Turpin has refereed the game very well. He's missed a few, albeit, minor moments in the game, deflections and things like that, where he should have got the right decision. But this one is absolutely huge. He has to get this right. Yeah,
he does. He has to get it right. I guess this is maybe more on the linesman, in my opinion, than him, in a sense that we just saw he put his flag up. Didn't look offside to me. Now they're checking for the red card, of course. So the referee's going to have the final decision, but it is on the VAR to really indicate that to him. Or not, whether they think it is.
Yeah, it's Eric Garcia, the guilty party.
Yeah.
As I say, Clement Turpin had got a yellow out before he saw the flag, not offside by the looks of it. So he's going to have to go and have a look, and I think he's going to send him off here. I mean,
it's not a red card.
You can make the point that Jules Koundé is covering game, but it's very similar to last week. I think he has to be consistent.
think he does. I think last week you never saw the covering man as close, in my opinion. It wasn't as apparent from my initial thoughts. Maybe seeing it back would help it that little bit more, but we're just seeing it again. Jules Koundé is rapid, isn't he? He's really quick. I think he's getting across there. I really do. Last week's a little bit more of a blur on just initial thoughts right this second. But he's going to send him off. That's quite clear. He's given that red card. It's a big moment in this game. Massive moment in the 79th minute. And it's going to be a free kick for Atletico Madrid as well. Well, Soloth, he hasn't had the goal, but he just loves playing against Barcelona, doesn't he?
10 minutes to go. Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, as Eric Garcia walks down into the changing rooms. It's an early bath for him. It's 2 red cards for 2 Barcelona centre-halves against Atletico Madrid. One in the first leg, one in the second leg. What an introduction from Soloth. Yes, as Kieran said, not got the goal. Potentially still could, but he's forced Eric Garcia to see red. And Barcelona are down to 10 men. What a big moment in the context of the tie. Atletico Madrid are going to make a change. Diego Simeone is preparing one as his players prepare to take this latest free kick.
Well, of course, last week as well, Tom, the red card was given, and Julian Alvarez went and wrapped that free kick into the top corner. He's now ready to take this one again. I mean, if he was to do that again, then credit to him. What a moment it'd be.
Yeah, great point. Alvarez standing over it. No one else in a white and red shirt seemingly wants to take this, and that's because he's such a good taker of free kicks, Julian Alvarez. It's about 5 yards from the edge of the area. It is very close. He'd have to do well to get it up and over, but he does. It's on target. It stings the palms of Johan Garcia, but he's equal to it in the end. Too close to him.
Yeah, not really enough in that from Julian Alvarez. Quite a poor effort. Yes, he finds the accuracy, but not enough power, not enough dip. And it was a very simple save from Johan Garcia. It was quite obvious which way he was going to go with it, as well, or which side he was going to look to go towards. Looks like Frankie de Jong's getting ready to come on.
Yeah, he's just helped the ball not stay in play, but not dribble away, so Barca can take this throw. He's going to come on into the centre of midfield. Immediately gets the ball as well. It's Gavi that's gone off. He'd been booked. Of course, that makes sense. Hansi Flick doesn't want to risk his side going down to 9 men at such a pivotal moment in the tie. 81.5 minutes gone. Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona down to 10. They lead by 2-1 on the night, but they trail by a goal on aggregate. Here's Olmo to Rashford. First time we've said his name, and Lewandowski as well, who goes down. No foul, says the referee, as Atleti play on. Alvarez has it on halfway, tries to dribble away from opposition. Ball over top to Soloth. Goalkeeper John Garcia is going to have to act as a sweeping out, given the man advantage to their opponents. Barcelona on halfway in possession. De Jong drives forward. Shows too much though to Ruggeri. And Ruggeri steals it away, and he's got support from Soloth. Is he onside? Ball on the left-hand side. It's a tight angle for Soloth in towards the final third. Only Ruggeri to aim for inside the box. Cancelo's there to cover. Out for a corner on the far side.
Yeah, and I don't know if Cancelo really needed to come across, because, I mean, he's not really to know it. There's nobody behind him steaming in, is there? But these Atletico Madrid players and fans are just so up for this now, aren't they? They are just so up for this. They've got the extra man. They've got their lead. Could be a very famous night for them. Of course, they will await the winners of Arsenal and Sporting Lisbon. I tell you what, Atletico Madrid would fancy themselves against either of those. They really would.
Yeah, could potentially be another final for Atletico Madrid. As I mentioned, 3 times runners-up in this competition. Can this be their year? They've got 1 foot in the semis at the moment. Here is Ruggeri. Ball into the area. Nodded away by Pedri. Falls on the edge of the opposition territory now for Llorente on the far right-hand side. Sliding challenge comes in from Cancelo. That's out for a throw to Atletico Madrid. 83 minutes on the clock. Atleti lead by that 1 goal. 3-2 on aggregate. Throw in on the right, and you can see the priorities for Diego Simeone and his side now, as the throw-in taker Molina had gone across. There was only 1 man inside the area. They're not in a rush to come forward. It comes in towards Soloth. Nodded away though by Cancelo. It's punted clear by Olmo, but there's no one in a Barcelona shirt anywhere near that, as it goes all the way through to Joan Musso. It's going to be a really, really difficult ask for Barcelona now.
Yeah, it's going to be so hard. A lot of players are going to have to do extra running in these final minutes. We've not seen anything of Lewandowski or Rashford since they come on. That's really poor from Barcelona, because they've been on for quite a little bit, haven't they? And we've not really seen any of them in possession. Have to get Rashford involved. We've not seen anything of Yamal. This last 15 to 20 minutes has been so poor from Barcelona. Since that goal got ruled out, I thought it'd maybe get a bit more fire in the belly, really want to go for it. Since the goal got ruled out from Ferran Torres, they're really almost just sinked away from it.
You get the sense if this was at Camp Nou, the energy that would have been inside the stadium at 2-0, they might not have conceded. Even if they did, maybe the fans would have just given that extra edge. It just feels like in the second half, Atletico Madrid have done really well to stay on top of Barcelona, both the atmosphere but also the players sitting back in a defensive shape. Ball out towards the right hand side for Lamine Yamal. Good touch from him. Ruggieri comes across, shift it back onto his left. Here's Koundé on the edge of the area. Now Pedri to his left, goes back towards the right for Frankie de Jong. Lamal wants it and gets it. Corner of the box on the right hand side. Shift it onto his right boot, then onto his left, onto his right, onto his left again. Koundé was there, couldn't find him. Koke, he's able to win the ball back, and Atletico Madrid won't mind that one bit. They're just getting bodies around Lamine Yamal and making it really difficult for him.
Yeah, they are. And he made a comment in the press conference in the build-up to this game. He was saying he hopes that Simeone will let him have some 1v1s this week, because he didn't let him have them last week. Why would you let him? Because he's the best player in the world. He just is. And they've not really let him today. I think he's had a little bit more space than we saw him have last week, and we've seen him have good moments, but they've not been able to get him involved anywhere near enough.
Well, he's the top goal scorer and has the most assists in all competitions for Hansi Flick's side this season. He's still, by the way, only 18, which is unbelievable. Here comes Atletico Madrid, though. Striding forward is Molina. Ball out towards that left-hand side, where it's picked up on the corner of the box on the left. Tries to find Solov inside the box. It's a bobbling ball. A shot comes in. Head in hands there from Baena, who swung a left boot at it. Solov thinks there was a handball in there. It goes wide in the end and out for a goal kick. Well, they're going to have a look.
Yeah, they're going to have a look for a potential penalty. He gets some real venom on the strike, doesn't he, Nicolas Gonzalez? And I tell you what, Solov's adamant. Simeone is adamant. If a penalty was to be given here and they were to score it, then it would be game over. Penalty quickly waved away by VAR.
Yeah, it makes him look a little bit silly, that, doesn't it? The fact that he was so adamant that it was going to be a penalty, both Solov and his manager Simeone. Barcelona with the ball inside their own area, playing with fire at the moment as it goes from right to left, then back to right. There's a second ball on the pitch, so Turpin's blown his whistle. The goalkeeper, John Garcia, has come across to deal with that. Ball dropped at the feet of de Jong. Just seeing a replay now of the potential handball. It does strike the left arm of Gerard Martin, but it's bouncing, it's bobbling. I think it's in a natural position given that they were jostling for the ball. I think it's the right decision as Atleti come forward down the left-hand side. Goalkeeper comes and deals with it. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, never a penalty. It also bounces up off another body part, then onto his arm as well. The ball barely even moved from the contact of the arm. We finally see some touches for Rashford on the left.
Yeah, he tries to have a run down the left-hand side, bursts away initially from his man. It's a brilliant recovering challenge, though. Rashford's still going, fighting for it. Back to Cancelo on the corner of the box. He slips trying to swing a ball in. It's stolen away by Molina. He's supported by Solov. Molina continues his run. Solov moves with it. This could be a big chance. He's onside there, Molina. He's been traced back by Pedri. Molina one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Shots too central. It's a waste from Atletico Madrid. That could have been the moment right there. There are a host of players, there are a handful of players in red and white that you want that chance to fall to. I don't think Molina's in that list.
But why on earth is he taking it so early as well, Molina? Maybe he's just not got the energy to keep going. Tell you what, he's got a bit of a goal of the season award contender really going with himself this season on competition. He scored 2 absolute worldies in La Liga back-to-back last month. Some of the best goals you'll see in any league this season, but they're all from distance. Maybe in the penalty area is not his forte.
Yeah, energy was zapped there, wasn't it? You could tell from the Argentine bursting forward. Brilliant from Solov. I think his introduction, it seems obvious to say, doesn't it, given he was the reason why Barca are down to 10, but his introduction, I think, has really solidified this victory, potentially, for Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, it's been brilliant. He's just added the physicality, a bit of an outlet that they needed. When the fact that you're winning the game, you're sitting back, you just need someone to aim for when you have the rare moments where you do have the ball, and that's been perfect for them. Good challenge from Ruggieri on Lamine Yamal, and the fans absolutely appreciate that one.
Just over a minute of normal time remaining. Atletico Madrid won Barcelona down to 10-2. There's going to be a change here. Araujo is coming on. Well, they didn't make a defensive change when Eric Garcia was sent off. They are going to bring another centre-half on now just to make sure that if they do get the goal, they can hang in there to take this one to an added 30 minutes. There's going to be a change as well for Atletico Madrid. Koke is coming off. Johnny Cardoso will replace him. Well, he's another player in red and white that's not stopped running this evening. The captain, on comes Cardoso. That's a change that makes sense, isn't it? It's like for like, just some fresh legs for Barcelona. Olmo is coming off. Is that Ronnie Bargi coming on for the visitors? And as I said, Araujo was preparing as well. Couldn't quite see who it was that he came on for. It was João Cancelo. So Cancelo and Olmo off. It's Ronald Araujo and Bargi on. Ball into the area towards Araujo, who's come on as a striker. It's over his head and out for a goal kick.
Yeah, he's gone up front, hasn't he? Ronald Araujo in almost a front two with Lewandowski. Just tells you the aim of the game for the remainder of this one. Bargi as well. Let's see what he can bring to this one. A natural right winger, so it'll be interesting to see where he locates or Lamine Yamal goes for the remainder of this one. But Koke was brilliant, wasn't he? He just epitomised everything you need in this Atletico Madrid side. Today we're just seeing how close the onside was. Well, he was kept onside so off that drew the red card just by the sleeve of Eric Garcia. So fine margins in this game.
So just to confirm then, Cancelo off there, Olmo off. On comes Araujo and Bargi for Atletico Madrid. It's Cardoso for Koke. Ball over the top, the goalkeeper. Has he come out of his area to collect that? The referee says no. He waves play on.
He was offside anyway, I believe, Alvarez.
And waved play on again, says the referee, out towards the far right-hand side. There's a challenge there on Bargi, who's just come on. Quick free kick taken. Referee not happy with that, seemingly, for some reason.
I think they're going to check it. They're going to check if the goalkeeper's outside of his box, but he looked way offside, did Julian Alvarez initially. But they're having a real check of it, so maybe he wasn't.
Well, the fourth official has indicated a minimum of 8 minutes added on at the end of the game.
He's picked it up outside his box, hasn't he?
Yeah, his right foot is on the line. It looks like his hand is in line. On the line is in the box. So I think he's got away with that one. 1 minute of the 8 played. Here's De Jong. Ball out towards the far right-hand side. This is crunch time now for Barcelona. And it's backs against the wall for Atletico Madrid, who lead by a 1-goal advantage. They've got 1 foot in the semi-final. Ball in towards Lewandowski. Header on target, but comfortable save in the end for Joan Musso. He stopped much better in this game.
Yeah, good save in the end. Comfortable save as well at that. Pedri's ball whipped in. Lewandowski's first chance. It's a good chance for his standards as well. It's a good ball in that goes over the head of Longley. He's had a better second half, hasn't he, than a first half. Maybe he's not been as involved, which has certainly helped him in that sense. But the 8 minutes added on, or a minute and a half in, that's a poor clearance. Barcelona just looks so tired. Here come Atletico.
Yeah, right-hand side, potential chance for another Atleti goal. It's in towards Llorente inside the box. Can't quite bring it under control. There's a mistake in possession there from Barcelona. It was a touch back from Pedri. The goalkeeper, Joan Garcia, couldn't intervene with his hands. And eventually Barcelona are able to move it away. Lamal's bringing it over the threshold of the 2 territories. Rashford's down out of possession. Araujo tries to get on the end of that one. Rashford back to his feet now as Atleti win it back. Strong challenge comes in from Julian Alvarez. Barcelona though back on the ball. Here's Rashford to Lamine Yamal on this left-hand side. Only 2 to aim for inside the box. One of those is Ronald Araujo, who's come on as a central striking figure. Here's Koundé on the right. Moves it back towards this left centre for Pedri, now toward the left flank for Lamine Yamal. He's got some support from Rashford. It's really well read there from the Atleti man to win the ball back. It was Nicolas Gonzalez, but then they've lost possession. And Barcelona have it once more. De Jong. Again, Gonzalez is there, but again they've lost it. They can't keep hold of the ball. Atleti, Koundé to Bargi. Beats 2 as they slip. Here's Bargi. Moves centrally. Still 40 yards from goal. Now out towards the left-hand side for Marcus Rashford. Ball into the area towards the front post. It's flicked away by Atletico Madrid. The lines should be cleared, and they are, up towards Sol. If it's going to go out of play for a Barcelona throw, it's going to be a frantic final 5 minutes.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a nervy one if you're an Atletico Madrid fan, even if you're a Barcelona fan. We've just seen that miss up at the back. Frankie de Jong almost passed it beyond his goalkeeper, which, by the way, how is that not a pass back? Because Frankie de Jong passed it to his goalkeeper, who used his hand How on earth is that not a pass back?
Yeah, it's gone unnoticed, hasn't it, from the officials? One of a few this evening that they've potentially got wrong. Ronaldo Araujo may have fouled his man inside the area. Ball had been overhit anyway, and it's gone out for a goal kick. Tonight's Barcelona lineup, by the way, was the club's youngest ever in a Champions League knockout game. The pressure on the side coming into it was pretty big, and it's only increased as the game has continued. Elsewhere, by the way, PSG have added insult to injury. They've taken a 2-0 lead on the night at Anfield. That means it's 4-0 on aggregate. Ousmane Dembele has got them both. 4 of the 8 minutes added on have been played. At the Estadio Metropolitano, it's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2. Atleti lead by 3-2, and Barca are down to 10. Here's De Jong, touches it away from Llorente, down the line to Rashford. Near halfway, with his back to goal. Llorente steals it away. Gonzalez forward. Now here's Molina. Down the line to Sorloth. Ball infield is picked off by Lamine Yamal. Can he do anything for Barcelona? He tries to beat a couple of challenges, goes down under the nose of the referee, and that'll be a free kick.
Yeah, free kick, and they want to get back underway really, really quickly. There's still enough time for Barcelona to get this leveller late on. Let's see if they can create the 1 or 2 chances that they so desperately need.
Here's Bargi from Pedri on the right-hand side. A couple of step-overs, and the Swede moves it back in field to the Spaniard. Pedri shifts it across, and now Martin finds Frankie de Jong, looping ball into the area. Goalkeeper comes and gets it. It's brilliant from Joan Musso. It's a cliche, but at this stage in the game, that is exactly what you want from your goalkeeper.
I thought he had some nervy moments at the start of the game with the ball at his feet. He's had a great game in the end, hasn't he? He's made some really big saves. This second half, he's claimed everything that's gone near him. Really big game from the Argentine, who's just finished a lovely ball forwards up to the head of Sorloth. His flick on gives possession straight back to Barcelona, who are looking to get back on the front foot once more.
Diego Simeone won a UEFA Cup as a player with Inter Milan, but he's fallen at the final hurdle. Twice a runner-up as a manager with Atletico Madrid. Ball out towards Ronnie Bardew. Hits one deflected into the path of Marcus Rashford. Can he keep it alive? Tries to square it. It's bobbing around inside the area. It's cleared away by Llorente. A kick-up and a boot long from Marcus Llorente after Marcus Rashford tried to square it across the face of goal. And it's a quickly taken throw-in with 2 minutes remaining. Here's De Jong to Lamine Yamal. Ball into the area is blocked by Gonzalez. His introduction to the game has been a positive one for Diego Simeone's side. Ball backwards towards Gerard Martin, now into the feet of the captain Pedri. He's only really got one option, and it's to his right for Bargi. Bargi moves away from a challenge, then goes backwards towards halfway for Pedri. There's just nothing doing at the minute for Barcelona. Here's Bargi on the right hand side, ball into the area, looking for Ronald Araujo. It's over the bar. It's about 4 yards out from the Barcelona substitute. And he's got an opportunity to draw level on aggregate to put his side 3-1 up on the night. There's not many you want that to fall to. Ronald Araujo over the bar.
What an opportunity. He has to hit the target. If you hit the target from that range, that power, you score. So he has to score. In that sense, there's Ronald Araujo. What a ball in. It is from Bargi from the right-hand side, on his right boot as well. And he knows it as well. They'll be hoping it was Lewandowski at the back post, but even then, centre-halves, they're known for their headers, whether that's attacking or defending them because of set pieces. What an opportunity with about a minute remaining.
Yeah, there's not many more, is what I was trying to say, than you want that to fall to. Araujo's one of them, Lewandowski's the other. Here's Pedri though, out towards Bargi on the right-hand side. Have they had their last chance, or will it come now? Koundé, brilliant sliding challenge on the left-hand side from Alex Baena, and he pumps the crowd up as well. A second ball on the pitch once more. Clement Turpin's allowed play on though, as is swept out towards the left-hand side from Martin. In towards this left channel for Marcus Rashford. Back to Martin, but away from goal. Then centrally for Pedri. 40 yards out towards the right-hand side. On the byline, Bargi, Koundé tries to beat his man. Here's Lamal, ball into the area towards the back stick. Ronald Araujo there, tries to square it. It's flicked by the goalkeeper, should be cleared, and it is by Julian Alvarez. He punts it high, long, and out of play for a Barcelona throw. Is that the last chance? Barca take their throw in quickly. Again, the ball's found its way onto the pitch, but the referee has blown his whistle. Atletico Madrid will go through to the semi-final of the UEFA Champions League. It's a 2-1 loss on the night, but they've shown real character to get a goal back this evening after Barcelona had drawn level on aggregate. It's full time at the Estadio Metropolitano. On the night, it's Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 2, but on aggregate, it's Atletico Madrid 3, Barcelona 2. Thanks for joining us.